usual gang of misfits and dope addicts are here.
All right, I'll bite. Yeah.
On this day.
Okay.
Michael McKean.
Yeah, I know
David
him.
David St. Hubbins.
I like to think of him better as Chuck.
Well, Chuck didn't perform any songs that we could play as an opening number to celebrate his 70th birthday.
He was also a character on X-Files one time, a story arc on X-Files.
Was he?
That? Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Michael McKean. He was Lenny.
Yes.
Yes.
He was Michael St. Hubbins. He was
David
St. Hubbins, I mean. Michael McKean.
Patron saint of quality footwear, Bill.
I didn't really
St.
know
Hubbins.
that. Yeah. So, there you go.
I am not wearing makeup today, Bill.
Okay.
As per your
This
request.
is okay.
Not a
spec. Now, did you
nothing there.
Did you bring some makeup
No.
in case you know,
In
in
case
case everybody
what?
goes, ah!
Well, you
Now,
don't know.
let's see. Now, let me get
The
a
boss,
little closer.
the boss may stop by and go, "You're not camera ready. You're in violation of contract."
You know, now I'm going to save
can't.
you a lot of time. Other than your eyes looking, not quite as pronounced.
Yes.
You look great.
Well, thank you.
And I mean, you look great without it. I don't think it's necessary. So just don't bother.
Don't bother?
Wash your face in the morning and come to work.
Bill Allred says I don't have to wear makeup.
I don't think anybody else think that. I mean, it's.
I just, I
Thank
just
you.
worry about her being in violation of contract. That's
Well,
all.
I don't want to
worry
get
about.
fired
Yep.
for
I'll let you in on a little secret.
what?
I stopped wearing makeup weeks ago.
Oh,
Weeks ago.
I didn't know. See, you're naturally beautiful.
shouldn't even be talking about this on the radio.
I know it says in our contract that we have to be camera ready. I stopped wearing makeup, and I looked at myself and I said, "That's as ready as it's ever going to get."
Legal could be listening.
Well, it's true. Where is legal?
It's over there.
Over
that way,
yonder,
yeah.
It's over that way.
up higher.
It's good that you don't know where it is. That means you haven't been in trouble. If you know where legal is.
That's right.
No, like we do x96.com/live, and even if you can't watch in the morning, Dylan gets little clips and posts them on Facebook and other places, and so it's out there, and I think there probably are women that would really care. I know my mom does. Because I'll hear from her.
You didn't put any makeup on today.
Oh, I'm sure today I'll hear that I didn't wear makeup.
You didn't wear makeup? Oh my goodness!
But now, think of how you feel. How does it feel? You didn't have the obligation of doing it.
I had 15 extra minutes this morning.
Wow, what'd you do with that?
I read Twitter.
And
Of course you did.
I did. I sat in my bathroom.
Of course you did.
Well, that's okay.
Oh, I've got some more time.
Yeah.
I can get angry right before I go to work. Like
If you get the camera up real close on Jeannie, you'll see where she needs the wood filler, the Bondo.
the pores. I have large pores.
But
I
you
can't do anything about that.
You can't see it from unless you're like
Always
right
zooming
next
in.
to you.
I'm ashamed to be your
I
mother.
know
see?
she's going to be so mad about this.
Yeah, we can't.
Clean up this mess.
You look great.
Thank you.
If you can't do something right, don't do it at all.
No, it's like I went to lunch with our good friend Mary Nichols from Channel 2 the other day, and for one thing, they start before we do. They're on
That's
at
true.
like 4:30.
Really early.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
And she has to be like
well, yeah.
perfectly made up.
And she'll tell
For
you,
the TV.
I got to put on the Spanx.
No, Mary's engaged. Mary doesn't need Spanx, but she gets
Her contract requires them, though.
She gets these we talk about hate mail. That is what we should have Barry on for, because people get so worked up about what I think the women in particular wear on TV.
Well, it's because guys wear the same thing all the time.
Yeah, it's a suit jacket and a tie.
And
I mean, they long emails about you shouldn't wear that color and that pattern is bad on you. And thank you, friends of the program, that watch this and don't comment on my clothes I don't think about.
I've got to stop sending those emails to Lindsay Stores, the weather. I've got to stop doing it. But I can't stand it. All right, let's get this over with. We'll officially begin the program in a couple of minutes. We need your check-ins. Let us know what you're doing, how you're doing. 877-602-9696 is the number to call. And just tell us what kind of effort you're going to put in today. That'll let us know what kind of effort we need to put in today. 877-602-9696. And some lucky checker-inner will win tickets to see Anime Bonsai.
It's next weekend.
Yeah.
It's this weekend.
Or, I mean, this weekend.
Yeah.
And if you're, if your vision is good enough, you could see Gina's pores without your glasses. If you've been to Hoops Vision, right? Hoops Vision, they are Carrie's been there. I've been there.
Yeah.
Dylan has.
My wife's had it done. Your wife.
Yep. Hoops Vision. It's really a great place. They take good care of you. They're fine. They're kind. They're gentle, and you'll walk out of there with no glasses and no contacts and go, ah.
It sounds scary when you talk about how the procedure is done. It sounds scary. It's really not at all. I was all freaked out and went through it, and I went, that's it?
Now, they have this new procedure called the SMILE procedure, which is an acronym for something that I don't know. But it opens up this procedure for even more people who want to be free of glasses and contact lenses. And right now, $800 off the SMILE procedure. And remember, Hoops Vision will finance this for you as well. So call them. 877-30-LASIK, that's 877-305-2745, or go to Hoops Vision, that's HOOPES vision.com.
X96 is your home for non-stop music. We give you a 1 hour non-stop music wingding 3 times a day.
I sound desperate out here.
Radio from Hell with Carrie, Bill, and Gina. 96.3 FM, X96.
I got caught in an embarrassing moment this morning.
Oh, good. I can't wait to hear.
Here at work. Already, I've been at work about an hour now, and already caught in an embarrassing moment.
Are you saving it?
No, I'll tell you right now. I came in the back door, as I always do. I kind of hope Chris is listening. I don't know Chris's last name.
Mancow.
Yeah, Chris
Yeah,
Mancow.
sure.
Yeah. So Chris is a board operator here in the building, and he tends to another radio station. He's a very nice guy, very quiet guy, very shy, I believe. Probably if he's hearing this, is embarrassed to hell that I'm even mentioning him on the radio. He's a very shy guy. So I come in the building this morning, and I'm walking down the long corridor there, and there down at the end of the corridor is a copy machine. And on the copy machine is sitting a big, it's like a briefcase, suitcase kind of thing.
Okay.
It looks like a toolbox, but not metal. It's a cord,
Okay.
fabric kind of stuff. What do they call that? Cordova. No. Anyway. So it's a big case with buckles on it and everything. And it's sitting there it's just out of place. It's odd. I've never seen it sitting there before. It's sitting, what is that? I think to myself. So then I think.
How curious were you?
I open it up and start rifling through it. Look at this. Look at this. And I mean, there was nothing particularly strange.
Wait a minute,
in there.
you saw someone's luggage lying around and you just opened it?
Well, yeah.
Didn't you learn anything from the announcements at the airport?
Or anything from the Dick Van Dyke Show.
God.
And I thought in my mind, maybe the reason I opened it is I thought, I wonder if because it looks like one of those things that the copy guy brings with his tools in it.
Okay.
To repair the copier. But I start going through it, and it's obviously somebody's briefcase. It's got some CDs in there, library books. There's an orange.
Yeah.
I went through it pretty extensive. No, I didn't. I didn't.
Sounds like you cataloged
there.
all of the stuff in there.
This is all stuff that I could sort of see right there. And as I'm kind of going through it, Chris comes up the hall the other way and goes, hey, that's mine. And I went,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I thought it was the copy guys.
Because if it was the copy guys, that would have been okay to go.
Well, it was my duty to investigate as a junior TSA trainee.
TSA, which really does mean to stand around. I'm just convinced of it.
No. So sorry, I apologize to Chris, and I'll apologize again. But just I'm just standing there going through his stuff, and here comes the shyest guy in the building going, "Hey!"
X96.3 and X96.com.
Yeah, that's the number you need to call to check in. There's one line open, 877-602-9696. Let's get the show started officially, shall we?
Opening the show, brought to you by Hoops Vision. Call today for your free LASIK consultation. It's your life. See it better. Take control. Make the call today, 877-30-LASIK, or go to hoopsvision.com.
Well, the moon is just about gone, 5.6% of full. It'll be a new moon on the 19th and a full moon again on November 3rd. The moon will set today at 6:04 p.m., today being Tuesday. It's the 17th day of October in the year of our Lord 2017. And this is North America's most blunt, tolerant morning broadcast. It's the Radio from Hell show, starring the Lords of Morning Radio, Carrie Jackson. It's me, Bill Allred, and over there, the makeup-free and still glowingly lovely Gina Marie Barberi. The senior executive producer of the Radio from Hell show, it's Richard. No makeup at all will help. Stedman, he's the producer. Dylan Allred is producing video for the show that you can see at x96.com/live. And Nick, your buddy, Nick, your pal, is here helping out with the show as well. By the way, it is today National Party Day, so feel free to cry if you want to.
Okay.
And it is also National Fossil Day. So if you see Orrin Hatch, say, "How's it going?"
Pow.
National Fossil Day.
Thank you for wishing me National Fossil Day greetings.
We have Orrin coming up.
In the news.
We have stories about Orrin, and we have stories about fossils. So, and we have a story about Orrin the fossil.
Okay. Well, let's begin the check-ins then, shall we?
Please.
Anonymous city cop, almost time to go home. It was 100% effort night. Sorry, officer, that sounds hard.
Yeah.
Let's start with Kyle here. Hello, Kyle.
Kyle.
Hey, how's it going?
It's all right, Kyle. What is on your agenda today?
Well, I'm headed into work. Just had that wonderful, glorious morning waking up to the sound of my puppy gagging.
Gagging?
So,
Why? Why gagging?
yeah. Oh, I don't know. He was just gagging, and, you know, it's that sound you never want to hear when you're asleep.
Was there something to clean up from that?
Luckily not.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
And then where are you working, Kyle?
I work at Spillman Technologies. So.
Spillman Technologies. We have been cleaning up spills at Spillman for the past 40 years.
Pretty much.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you.
Get a spill man in here.
Taking care
What
of
do we
spills.
do with this spill?
Oh, my goodness. I've taken a spill.
Dalton checking in.
Dalton.
Yep, I'm here.
Dalton, is that... I don't hear many Daltons. It's not a name I
You don't
hear,
encounter many.
Yeah. So where did that name come from? Do you know?
The story is it was 1860s Wild West, and I'm not sure who they named
Is
me
it
after.
as in the famous gang?
Yeah, the Dalton
Yeah,
gang.
but the real story is my mom was pregnant walking around the mall and saw B. Dalton bookstore.
No.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
good
and then it went
name.
bankrupt 3 months after I was born. So.
Yeah, that's a name I haven't thought of in a long time. The B. Dalton bookstores. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, Dalton, what do you do?
I do drywall. I deliver it.
Dalton the drywall guy.
Oh, that's right. You got one of those big trucks with an arm on it and
Yep.
take it around.
Finished
That's
up 15 hours yesterday, getting ready to do it again today.
Oh, geez, we've
Is
got
there nobody else that can do drywall? You're the only person?
He's
You
the
have to
only
work
one.
that long?
No, we've got a crew of 10 of us.
All right.
All right, Dalton, hang in
I
there.
appreciate you taking the check-in. Thank
Sure.
you.
All right, we'll see you. Let's go to Aaron. Hello, Aaron.
Hello, Aaron.
Hello, good morning. How are you guys?
Good.
Oh, you're doing great.
Yeah, what do you do today, Aaron?
I'm just heading into work.
Yeah, what do you do?
I'm the aeronautical engineer.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So is that
I
like
enjoyed sleeping in so much Friday. I thought I'd do it today too.
is that like Northrop Grumman? Is that where you work?
Lockheed Martin.
Oh, Lockheed Martin. I knew it was one of those double
So
names.
Double name
the
places.
same number of syllables, so I can
Yeah,
see where
pretty-
you.
Yeah. So being an aeronautical engineer, do you design things? Do you design planes, or what do you do?
Yeah, technically I got my degree in electrical engineering, so I do like the electrical design of the of planes. I can't really specify.
It's
Of things that
secret.
I can't say.
Secret job.
I got you. All right, Aaron. Thanks for checking in with us, and sleep in a little bit tomorrow too.
All right.
That sounds great. Thank
All
you.
right, see ya.
Thank you. Someone says, I was hoping Dalton was named after his mom's favorite James Bond.
Nope.
And wasn't there a cartoon character, Dinky Dalton?
I can't remember that one. Sounds familiar. Cupcake here, second day back to work after extensive knee surgery and having to crutch around everywhere. Please give at least 90% today. Randy, the service electrician, been up since 1:45 this morning, early shift, just another 9 hours to go.
That's basically yesterday.
Wow.
London FOP, T-minus 48 hours. This is they're on baby watch
Yes.
in London.
Uh-oh.
And I asked him, how much is that birth going to cost you? And he goes, free! Socialized medicine,
Yeah.
baby! No, pun intended. All right. Let's see.
Dinky Dalton was a member of the Really Rotten team in the Laugh Olympics.
Laugh Olympics. Dinky Dalton.
I don't know why I remembered
The
that.
Really Rottens. Now I remember.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
Big Bird's listening this morning. Big Bird checking in, headed home for some sleep. I don't know what Big Bird's long night with Snuffleupagus.
Headed to the nest.
The nest.
Yes.
Let's see. Tim the Tree Guy checking in. Hello, lords and lady. Vicky of the Angel checking in.
Oh, that rival morning team.
Yes. Can you help me out, please?
What?
Both of us are sick today.
Oh.
So please give all you can muster to get us through the day.
All right.
Teacher Emily checking in, short school week. Yeah, it's UEA week. It's fall
it
break.
is?
It's
Oh, yeah, my daughter's off.
All right. Garbage Gus checking in. He's a garbage man.
All right.
Getting excited for the sure to come Larry Flint impersonation.
I thought we'd have that yesterday, actually.
I had it written down on my list of stories to get to because Larry Flint has surfaced again.
Yes.
And
Dalton, everyone says that instead of saying that you were named after a defunct bookseller, you should say you're named after Patrick Swayze's character in Roadhouse.
That's tough.
Dalton.
Go with that.
Say Roadhouse.
Yeah.
And they say, Dalton, where's that from? Roadhouse. That's all you have to do.
Oh.
all right, well let's get the show going, and we'll I guess we'll have to try today.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. So we got big boy news coming up after these.
Mm-hmm. I'll find that Larry Flint story.
And let's see. Then we're going to start the expo. Halloween costumes is the subject. What angle were we going to take on this?
Well, what are you going as? I have a list of
Suggestions.
really horrible Halloween costumes.
Couple ideas.
And there's a Halloween costume in the Boners today.
Ah, okay. So tell us about your Halloween costumes coming up. Or if you have suggestions for an easy Halloween costume.
Maybe you'd like to wear your Halloween costume to the farmer's market.
I think you could.
Downtown Food Alliance would like you to know that it's Tuesday, and the farmer's market, the Tuesday farmer's market at Pioneer Park is on. It's produce.
You could dress up like an ear of corn.
Hey.
Well, no, somebody might try to buy you.
Okay.
You don't want to do that.
So at the Geek Show panel at Comic-Con, a guy dressed as an Iricorn. He was there.
Shoppers at the downtown market on Tuesday. By the way, it begins at 4 p.m. and goes until just getting dark at Pioneer Park.
This is smaller than the Saturday one. If you just want to get some produce for dinner tonight, that's the perfect place to do it.
There are about 20 vendors. They have produce, and they have also meat and cheese, all locally produced meat and cheese, and some other few food items at the downtown farmers market. It's at Pioneer Park, and the smaller size midweek market is very nice. It's intimate, it's quiet. So go take a good look at that and buy some stuff. You can find out more about the farmers market by going to slcfarmersmarket.org.
Want music? Listen at 10 for a 1 hour non-stop music wingding on X96.
My grandpa never said that. What was that all about?
Fine, I won't say anything.
No,
then.
we're not saying don't say anything. We're trying to. For how many years have you been here? We're trying to still teach you. Please say things. But, wait for a break in the sentence. When someone is in mid-sentence, you don't start talking.
I might forget what I was going to say.
There is that. There is that.
There's an unplanned course change being fed into the instruments, sir.
The minute it comes to me.
No, Leanne, we're not going to stop being mean to Gina. Go away. I'm not answering that call.
Well, no, let me talk to Leanne. Hi, Leanne. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Now, Leanne, have you been listening this morning?
I have.
Yeah, I don't think of being particularly mean to Gina.
Well, okay, you guys are always picking on her at some point. You have to be nice to her.
Why?
I might cry.
Yeah, see?
I think...
Don't make Gina cry.
Okay.
Leanne, you and Gina are single-handedly putting women's rights into the Middle Ages. All right? You fight like hell for equal rights to work just like the men, and then you get here and expect special treatment.
No, it's not special treatment. It's called don't be mean.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's special treatment.
Don't be mean.
Don't be mean or you might make her cry.
You have to understand Carrie's mean to everyone.
Yes.
Thanks, Leanne.
Thank you,
You're
Leanne.
welcome. I
See you
love
later.
you guys.
See you later.
Oh my God, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
How are you this morning?
I'm just fine.
You're a great Americanist. What can we do for you?
I just wanted to tell you to be nice to Gina. That's all I
Okay,
wanted.
thanks.
I was feeling sad for her.
See,
No.
you were going to cry for me,
No.
huh?
I was.
No.
I think I had a couple of tears welling
Michelle,
up, and
do
I
you
thought,
think
you know
that-
what? This is wrong.
Michelle, do you think women need special
No, wait a
treatment in the
minute.
workplace?
I never said they needed special treatment.
No, I'm asking you a question.
No.
Okay, then.
Michelle,
But there's a difference between special treatment and just common courtesy.
Michelle.
And being nice.
Michelle, is it common courtesy? Now, have you've been listening this morning?
Yes.
Yes.
All I'm trying to do is get through this feature.
Yeah.
And Gina is saying, "Oh, that's what happened to the."
How is that common courtesy?
So you know what I did? I stopped and said, "Well, then tell us all about it." Apparently,
you were being
it's
sarcastic.
apparently.
And then you yelled at her a
I
minute
didn't-
later for like 5 minutes. You
I
guys
didn't-
stop. You just
All
kept
right,
going
No,
Michelle.
I didn't yell.
and
Michelle.
going.
I didn't yell.
Michelle.
All right.
Michelle. Is it common courtesy to interrupt someone when they're speaking?
No, but she said she was sorry.
I'm
But
very
she says
sorry.
she's sorry every day.
But I'm really, really sorry.
No, wait a minute. Michelle's right. Gina said she was
said,
sorry.
I'm sorry, and you kept going, and you kept going, and I thought, that poor girl is either
Again,
gonna cry or
Michelle,
quit.
you and Gina are setting back women's rights 30 or 40 years.
I have to disagree with you.
I think it's
Just
only 20.
apologize, Michelle.
Michelle,
Just tell Carrie you're sorry.
You're wrong, and you know why?
Why am
Because
I
you're a
wrong?
woman. That's why, okay?
But thanks for
If
trying.
I were as smart as you guys, I'd know when to.
Bill Allred, Gina Barberi. What you got there is Radio from Hell on X96.
All right. 6:33. We got the expo coming up. It's all about Halloween costumes in just a few moments. But first, big boy news and innuendo brought to you by...
Outperforming the others, Performance Toyota Bountiful. See the amazing specials on remaining 2017s at toyotabountiful.com. Putting a smile on your face every day, Performance Toyota Bountiful.
Well, Gina, story for you.
Okay.
I'd like to begin the news with a crime story if I can. And there is a Pennsylvania man, a father.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the run. He's on the loose. He's accused of shooting his daughter's boyfriend in the groin.
Did he get her pregnant?
Police said Donald Jenkins of Shenandoah, Pennsylvania, shot his daughter's boyfriend when he found the two of them in a hotel.
Oh.
Down there near Frackville.
Frackville, eh?
Nothing good happens in Frackville.
Frackville, Pennsylvania, Sunday afternoon. Housekeeper Lisa Mowry was cleaning the room next door when she heard the gunshot. State police said that Mr. Jenkins fired that shot, hitting his 20-year-old daughter's boyfriend right in the groin. Investigators said he was upset that his daughter was dating this guy. Ms. Mowry said she gave the victim some towels to help stop the bleeding. I was scared, I was scared to death, the housekeeper said. I just stayed in the room. I didn't know. And then the crime also shocked the community members at Frackville. They say, we're not used to this kind of thing in Frackville.
What sort of things happen in Frackville?
Fracking. Just fracking. That's why they call it Frackville. If anything happens, they keep it quiet, usually, said Mike McGlade of Frackville. I guess Frackville is a place where what you do in Frackville stays in Frackville.
We've had people shot in the crotch in Frackville, and we just don't go talking about it. And why they felt they had to do that, I don't know.
So, anyway, he's still on the run. So, Let's go to this story. Okay. We talked about this yesterday, and it's very sad. It's Box Elder County up near Perry. Those two girls that were hit by a truck as they were trying to get across Highway 89. One of the girls has died. The other one's still in extremely critical condition. The deceased girl, Alexis Nelson. The students at Box Elder High, the staff, they just adored her, said Suzanne McBride, a teacher at the school. She was one of those kids that all the kids missed when she wasn't there. She was just 16, a junior, and she's 16. Her friend, the person she was with, Sarah Hardy, 14 years old. Hardy is still in critical condition at a hospital in Ogden.
They don't know why they were.
It was kind of dark, and
across the freeway.
It's that's a busy highway, Highway 89, and they were, there are not a lot of. I haven't been up there in a long time, but there are not a lot of places to cross, and so what do? You be careful, I guess. Now, President Obama, in his last year in office, signed a bill.
I got excited for a minute. I thought he was back.
Signed a bill that stripped the Drug Enforcement Administration of its most powerful tool for combating drug companies suspected of spilling prescription pain pills outside the legal distribution chain. The president may not have really known the importance of what he was signing. In the spring of 2016, a handful of members of Congress, allied with the nation's major drug distributors, prevailed upon the FDA and the Justice Department to agree to a more industry-friendly law, drug industry-friendly law, undermining efforts to staunch the flow of pain pills, according to an investigation by the Washington Post and 60 Minutes. The DEA had opposed this effort for years, but members of Congress got behind it and sent it to the president as a bill, and he signed it. The Ensuring Patient Access and Effective Drug Enforcement Act was the crowning achievement of a multifaceted campaign by the drug industry to weaken aggressive DEA enforcement. The chief advocate of the law was Representative Tom Marino from Pennsylvania and Senator Orrin Hatch from Utah. And Orrin Hatch went on the offensive yesterday in Congress, and he went before the assembled members and started talking about how this was a good law yesterday after this Washington Post story broke. Yes, of course I helped sponsor that. It's a good law, not a bad law. Well, not according to almost everyone, except these senators and representatives who voted for it. Now, it may be unclear that President Obama really understood the full impact of it. But I would urge you all to look. I haven't done it yet, but just see how much money Orrin Hatch gets from the drug companies. How much money do they pay him to do stuff like this? Because that's why these things happen.
Stephen, sorry.
It was a bill that the drug companies vigorously supported, and Hatch pushed it through for him along with this guy from Pennsylvania. Donald Trump falsely asserted yesterday that his predecessor, Barack Obama, and other presidents did not contact the families of American troops killed in duty, drawing a swift and angry rebuke from several of Mr. Obama's former aides. I think
not just that.
I think the former president is wise. He does not comment directly on these things.
But it wasn't just them, it was families, and it wasn't just for Obama, it was for President Bush saying all the great things he did for them.
Trump was responding to a question about why he had not spoken publicly about the killing of 4 Green Berets in an ambush in Niger 2 weeks ago when he made the assertion. Rather than answering the question, why didn't you contact the families, he started bragging about how many personal letters he had written and phone calls he had made to other families, and that he planned. I have done more than any other president, like he does.
Yeah.
If you look at President Obama and other presidents, most of them didn't make any calls. Trump said during a news conference, a lot of them didn't make any calls. I like to call when it's appropriate. Well, that's just a total out and out falsehood. Wrong. And now Trump is backtracking. He said that, the toughest calls I have to make are the calls where this happens, and I've made a great many of those calls. A lot of those other presidents, I've made a lot of them, and I probably think that sometimes maybe Obama didn't, but I know that's what I was told
That's
anyway.
what I was. I've started
That's what I
thinking
was
that's
told.
what I was told. That's the voices in his head. Donald, you're better than anybody.
Or it's
Obama never did that.
Or it's people like Stephen Miller, you know, who are still conspiracy theorists and read Breitbart and believe it all. You know,
Nobody's
he
ever.
never did that.
But then there were really sad, angry responses from family members who had sons or husbands that were killed and said, "No, President Bush was wonderful. President Obama was one. They came when the bodies were brought back off the
Obama went to
plane.
Arlington Cemetery all the time, and it's just,
They went and met with families.
it's horse.
Yeah.
By the way, go back to the drug story.
Yes.
That Tom Marino,
Yes.
one of the big sponsors of that bill to weaken enforcement of drug laws, a bill that the DEA really didn't want. He was President Trump's nominee to be head of the DEA. This story has come out, and he's
Because of
withdrawn,
that.
and he's now withdrawn his nomination. Trump just tweeted that. I'm sad to report that Tom Marino has just withdrawn his nomination to be head of the DEA. You know, the agency that he tried to gut and would continue to try to gut if he.
That's how he picks people to be in
Yes.
cabinet positions.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Are you
and-
going to help us dismantle this? You bet. Okay,
All
you're
right,
the
get in
guy.
there then.
You know who's really who wants to help?
Who?
Larry Flint,
He's a national treasure.
I am a national treasure.
hustler publisher Larry Flint. Hi, Larry.
How you doing, Bill?
I'm doing well. You know how much I think of you, Larry.
I know.
Yeah.
We have a bond, you and I.
Larry says he's willing to give up to $10 million. Is that right, Larry?
$10 million, bro.
$10 million.
I'm one of the last porn peddlers that has this much money.
It's a porn peddler, Larry Flint.
Hustler magazine.
He says he will give $10 million to anyone who can turn over video or audio.
I prefer video.
Well, I know you do, Larry.
He wants you want the P tape.
That's what I want.
Capturing Donald Trump behaving in an illegal or sexually demeaning manner. The following, this is of course following the release of that 2005 Access Hollywood video in which Trump bragged, or audio. Well, I guess there was video too, wasn't
Well, it's mostly audio.
It's mostly audio.
Bragged about sexually assaulting women.
It was a hot mic.
So he says $10 million for information leading to the impeachment and removal from office of Donald J. Trump. The fine print details Trump's alleged offenses, ranging from compromising domestic and foreign policy with his massive conflicts of interest in global business empire. I didn't know you were so into politics, Larry.
Well, of course, I've always been political.
Telling bald-faced lies. Bald-faced lies.
Yeah.
Are those your words, Larry?
Well, I dictated them.
Yeah. And gross nepotism and appointment of unqualified persons to high office. Way to go, Larry.
Took us an hour to make that statement.
I'll bet it did.
Between the dictation and,
And then yesterday we talked about Mayim Bialik, who...
She's a crazy person.
And I was talking to my wife about this, and Mayim Bialik is crazy on a number of fronts. She's like a homeschooler. Nobody knows how to raise kids better than her. And my wife said, I don't know if she's an anti-vaxxer.
Oh,
but
I bet she
But
is.
she certainly borders on it. And she espouses all of these hooky kind of cures and things for her
No
kids.
diapers for babies.
no diapers.
Like newborn baby, you hold them over the toilet.
And she justifies all of this by saying, I'm a scientist. She does have a doctorate, I believe. She's not a dumb person. She has a doctorate in chemistry. Well, in the days since the Weinstein headlines, still no sign of news fatigue on that. Last week, Mayim Bialik, as we mentioned, wrote a much-discussed New York Times op-ed, which seemed to claim that modest clothing, it didn't seem to claim, it did claim, that modest clothing can prevent sexual harassment. Biba Kang has done an article. She is a British woman in The Independent. Biba Kang wears a full burqa, covered from head to toe. The only thing you can see are her eyes. And she says, I'm here to tell you that being covered up completely does not stop
No.
sexual harassment. Men have grabbed my crotch on the street. I have been sexually harassed wearing the most modest clothing you could possibly imagine. So shut up, Ms. Bialik.
This is all on us, guys. You've got to teach your sons
how to
to be respectful. You know,
and I've said this many times when we've been discussing this lately. I work with a building full of men for the last 25 years, but you two in particular, you know, your parents raised you well, and I don't know what they did that other people's didn't. That harassing me doesn't even occur to you.
But it's not even just the parents, because once you move out of the house, that's when that herd mentality starts to happen when you're hanging out with a bunch of guys. I mean, I've experienced that, but I've also been able to say to myself, that's not the way you treat a human being.
It's a learning process. In a way, our natures as men are, I hate to quote Tim Allen, but he's kind of right. It's like when a bunch of men get together, it's like lions watching gazelles. It's like, oh, yeah.
It really is.
There is a
a
certain element of that in the nature of young boys and men, and now my mother raised me to be compassionate and kind and all of that, but you have to learn other things as you go along in life,
or how to not act on those feelings, even if you
you have a certain surging hormonal feelings, and your impulse is to do stuff with that, but you have to learn to not do that.
Well,
that's against nature.
I feel kind of bad. That sounds weird. I feel kind of bad. Yesterday was all #MeToo. We didn't really talk about it, but what that was about is people saying, I've been harassed too.
Yes.
And men and women were tweeting it and posting it. And it hasn't happened to me.
I told you it's happened to me.
Yeah, it hasn't happened to me. But the only reason it hasn't happened is I happen to work with great guys. I lucked out working with you guys.
I think part of the other reason, Gina, is you're just not very observant.
Well, that's
I was going to say,
have happened.
there's no. You're telling me that it didn't happen when you were in sports radio of all formats.
It did.
I bet it happened.
You laughed it off, or you never got to the point where you felt horribly uncomfortable.
I'm pretty unflappable.
Yeah.
So it probably happened, and you.
But it didn't. If it did,
yeah,
it didn't either bother me or register, or I didn't take it serious. I had no reaction when this stuff has come up where I flash back to something and went, this happened to me.
Yeah, I'm telling
and
you.
you're right.
I think it happened to you.
Did,
it had to have happened to you, especially in sports radio.
Sure.
Being a woman in that format, I've talked to women who have done that format, and it's rampant.
Yeah, but mostly my career has been with you guys, and I think I've been lucky in that.
Sports weather traffic?
Well,
yes.
I have a couple things. My favorite story yesterday was this picture that kind of made the rounds on social media of Karl Malone and John Stockton at an LSU football game.
I saw you tweet about that, but I didn't see the picture.
And it's just fun to see them together.
They still like each other,
yeah,
okay?
It doesn't happen very often. But the funny thing about the picture is they both have their phones out, and they're both flip phones.
Well,
like they're burner phones for.
Well, they have people to tell them, when to be places. And
I think there are a lot of celebrities that don't have smartphones. They have flip phones, so their assistant can get a hold of them if they need to or whatever.
Ed Brass has a flip phone.
Well, isn't that interesting?
So. And I think a lot of celebrities have burner phones too.
So their numbers don't get out.
Yeah, because they make phone calls to do interviews, and then these because Shatner's number, I have Shatner's number, but I called it, and it's not him anymore.
What, Dylan?
Gina, I think
I think they're just old guys.
No.
You think that's it?
No.
They're just old.
I kind of think
and haven't
nobody's
had a new cell phone since '96. Dagnabbit.
I kind of think maybe nobody's really calling John Stockton a lot for interviews.
Well, he won't return my calls.
Well, you know why.
Well, I know why.
All right.
So I love that. And quickly, it's the As One weekend.
As one?
Friday and Sunday. It's all soccer all the time.
Okay.
So Friday, October 20th, Real Monarchs are in their first ever USL Cup playoff match. If you haven't been to a Real Monarchs game, take the family and go. For one thing, it's inexpensive. You can get tickets to that one starting at just $5, and they are fabulously exciting to watch. It's great soccer with the Monarchs. Then on Sunday, the 22nd, Real Salt Lake is playing Sporting KC. That one's at 2 p.m., so you should make it a soccer weekend. They're specially priced tickets. You enter the promo code ROYAL, ROYAL, when you go to rsl.com to try to get tickets for that. So you should do that this weekend. Weather, it's going to be nice today. Sunny, 70s, beautiful weather out there. This fall, keep the whole family warm and dry at IFA with 20% off all Wrangler outerwear. IFA Country Stores, helping grow the things you love. Looks like there's a stalled semi on 13th East exit ramp. Shoulder is blocked, not causing too many delays so far because we don't have a whole lot of traffic, but that might be an issue later on. And that's all the traffic we have right now, so that's the good news. Join the Snowbird team this winter. Stop by one of the upcoming recruiting events November 1st, 7th, and 15th, or apply online at snowbird.com.
All right, 877-602-9696. That's the number to call to take part in the Radio from Hell Expo. Basically, we want you to give each other costume ideas for Halloween. I don't particularly like wearing Halloween costumes, and when I'm called upon to wear them, I don't. It's hard for me to come up with ideas. So, what are you doing?
This can be for kids, for adults, couples costumes, pet costumes. Somebody calling and participating in the Expo is going to qualify for an overnight stay at the Cliff Lodge up at Snowbird. So there's more incentive for you to call.
There's a lot of bad costumes. There's a list of these. There's a guy dressed as an eggplant. Not a good idea.
That's an inappropriate costume.
Yeah, it kind of is.
What? It's an eggplant.
The sexy remote control.
Now,
It's just a girl in a tight, short dress, and then there are remote control buttons printed on the front of the dress. Hi, I'm a sexy remote control. No. Not a good costume.
Let's see. Text, couple's Halloween costume. My wife is going as Freddy, and I'm going as Jason. So it could be Freddy versus Jason, see?
So 877-602-9696. What are you going to do for Halloween if you're going in costume?
All right. Let's go to Devin, first of all. Hi, Devin.
Hi. Thanks for letting me listen. So I kind of have a go-to, and it's Flavor Flav because it's really easy. You just have to have some onesie pajamas, which most millennials have anyways.
Yeah.
And then you go buy the big plastic clock to wear around your neck. You can get them for like $3.
Yeah.
And then if you want to get really crazy, you can get the gold teeth. Those are also really cheap.
Okay.
But everyone always loves it.
Okay. Now you go as the I assume you go as the white Flavor Flav?
Yeah, I don't put anything on my face. I just kind of
That's a wise move. You're treading the line as
then
it is.
you should call yourself Vanilla Flavor Flav.
Yeah, or mild Flavor Flav.
Light Flavor Flav.
Yeah, something like that.
All right, Devin. Thanks.
Thanks. Because I went as I had a listener at Geek Show made me a Lando Calrissian cape, and it looked just like it.
Yeah.
And she gave it to me, and I went as Blando Calrissian.
I like Blando Calrissian.
There are pictures of me at a Halloween party where I'm dressed as a woman, and I look like my mother, which frightened me. And then I'm sitting next to a friend of mine who's no longer with us, and he came in complete blackface.
Oh.
Yeah, and...
Don't do that. Don't do that.
All right. Let's see. My son is one, so he will be Yoda on my back. I will be Luke.
Oh, I like that.
And our dog will be R2-D2.
Yay.
Aw. Emilio. Hello, Emilio.
Hey, guys. Thanks for letting me listen.
Sure. What are you going as?
Well, this year my wife and I are trying really hard to convince our kids what to do for Halloween, but it's not working. Our idea was my wife and I be MIB agents and my kids be aliens.
Oh, that's a great idea. They don't like that?
No.
We hate that old movie, Dad. Well, it's just too bad because they could be those little aliens that are in the area of the office, where they're making the coffee and everything. And
Oh, the worms.
Steve. They could have cigarettes and coffee. That would be. That's what I would do.
Yeah. Could I just suggest that you go as a Emilio? Instead of that, if you can't think of anything, go as a sexy Bambi.
I could do that.
Looking at some of these costumes here, sexy Bambi.
Okay, thank you, Emilio. My husband and I are going as Rick and Morty. I think there's going to be a lot of Rick and Mortys this year. Let's see.
My nephew is my younger nephew wants to be Muhammad. Now, not Muhammad the prophet. He wants to be my son for Halloween.
Going as
he wants to wear his goalie uniform with his name on the back and his goalie gloves, and he's going as my kid. So I'm my cousin for Halloween.
So what he really wants is for every single person to ask him, and who are you supposed to be?
No, Muhammad's name's on the jersey. I think people will know it's him.
Let's see. My ex-husband showed up to a Halloween party as Santa Claus.
Muhammad was Santa Claus last year.
All right. Couple's costume, Playboy Bunny, and a missionary.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Well, we'll take a break here, and we'll continue the sex poll on the other side of the break, if you insist. 877-602-9696.
If you're already on the line, hang on. And there's one line open. What are you going to go this time as Halloween?
It's a crash on the exit ramp from eastbound 80 to 13th East. It looks like a stalled semi, and it's off to the right lane and shoulder. Not causing too many delays right now, but unless they don't get that move soon, it will start causing delays. Strong Volkswagen of Salt Lake City, you get 100% lifetime powertrain coverage. Your factory powertrain warranty becomes a lifetime warranty online at strongvw.com.
All right, thank you very much. Expo continues after these.
We created a massive promotional announcement for our upcoming contest for Killers.
He works late a couple nights a week, and then I'm in charge of dinner.
That means Olive Garden.
Which is a laugh.
Which me in charge of dinner is never me making dinner.
It's Olive Garden.
You could learn. You're not stupid. You could learn. It's not. No, it's probably too late for you.
Listen, there are a limited number of recipes that you can do with meat and bread. And that's...
And my kids will tell you this story if you ever have them. What does your mom make you for dinner? And you know what they will tell you? Mac and milk.
Mac and milk?
Because a while ago I went to make mac and cheese for them.
We have people who work for the Division of Child and Family Services listening to this show. I'm not sure you want to tell this.
And because I don't eat mac and cheese, I don't think... really. So you boil the pasta, and then I measured out the milk.
This is for the boxed.
Yeah, to put the powder in.
That any moron can do.
Yeah.
That at 8 years old I was doing.
And I poured the milk into the noodles, and I put it on the table, and the kids, all three of them, sitting there, and they said, "Did you put the cheese?"
Where's the cheese?
Back in?
It's just powder. It's cheese powder. Where is it?
I forgot to put it in the milk and mix it up.
So you are stupid. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's impossible for you to learn to cook.
Yes.
You could do it.
But my husband does such a good job.
But that burden falls upon you to give succor to your family. to nourish
twice a week.
Gina, to nourish and strengthen their bodies.
That doesn't hurt them to have pizza twice a week.
So you're a disappointment. I'm surprised you snagged a husband.
I am too.
Well, everybody.
And he's such a good guy. He wouldn't divorce me now that he knows the truth.
Even though he was duped.
This is now a pity marriage.
All the way.
I'm married.
I got him to marry me quickly.
Now I'm married to you out of pity. I got to stick with you because you wouldn't survive.
I was so nervous to talk about it, Robin. I mean, they're so secretive, those two.
Oh, I know, Howard.
The only reason I knew was because I'd been asked to. They asked me to make a speech.
They did what?
Yeah, they asked me to make a speech, Robin.
Oh.
Evidently, I'm in demand. I mean, I'm very friendly with Justin, you know. I mean, I like him very much. I like him.
Well, I knew that you had his phone number.
Well, I really like him. I even said in my speech to them that if one of my daughters brought home a guy like Justin, I'd be pretty pleased. I mean, except for the SE tattoos. He's got some hugging weird ones, but except for the fact that I gave him a journal to draw in, and he draws pictures of dead zombie babies with blood dripping out of their head on almost every page. I said those two things might disturb me, but aside from that, Robin.
You said all these things at the wedding?
No, I didn't say those in the speech. I was miserable at having to speak at the couple's reception.
But you should have been honored, Howard.
Well, I was just worried about it, but I had everybody laughing. Everybody was laughing. They had these little tiny chairs. There was a table, and then when you sit down, and the chairs are like these little poofs. These little pillow poofs.
Oh, I love those kind of chairs.
Yeah, I know you do, Robin. That's because you got a big ass.
Oh, Howard.
But I love your ass, Robin. It's a big wide ass, and I know you like those.
Let's get back to the wedding now,
All right,
Howard,
all
not
right.
my ass.
Well, I'm 6 foot hugging feet. I'm a grown man with a skinny ass, Robin. I got a skinny ass, not a big wide ass like your ass.
Back to the wedding.
All right.
Did you at least toast the cup? Oh, this is going.
I love the Howard Stern show, by the way.
Utah. That doesn't necessarily mean it's good, but, I mean, come on. We'll take what we can get. X96.
Dick.
Man, he's really... Jeez.
God.
This is sponsored, Gina.
Yes, get unlimited 1.5% cash back plus a $100 bonus with Power Cashback Credit Card from Security Service Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply. Get details at ssfcu.org.
All right.
So
it is the Expo, and we're just talking Halloween costumes. Yeah. You can call with a suggestion for one, or just tell us what you're doing. Halloween costumes. Let's go to Ben. Hello, Ben.
What's your costume, Ben?
All right.
Hi.
My wife and I are going to be lion tamers from the circus.
Uh-huh.
And my wife's costume is something she wore when she worked at Frightmares at Lagoon. And so her picture is at Lagoon on the banner if you go there, or if you go to the Frightmares website.
Who is the tamer?
Her name's Piper, but I'll be the lion tamer, and she'll be also a circus person.
So she's not a lion. You're a circus freak tamer.
You're a lioness, a lionless lion tamer.
And she's a...
Yeah.
Okay.
So...
I think
it.
you'll be explaining that.
So I'm looking at the Frightmares.
Yeah, she's a circus freak, and you're a.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
Yeah,
you'll be explaining that all night.
Okay.
That's okay.
That's all right.
All right, Ben. Thank you.
See ya.
I like this. I'm going as Beauty, and my fiance is going as Beast. I will be a beautiful bearded beauty. So he's the beauty.
Oh, so
and
he's the
she's
beauty and she's the beast. All right. Camilla. Hello, Camilla.
Hi.
Hi.
So my 4-year-old son wants to be a hot air balloon.
Where did he come up with that?
Yeah. That's just out of nowhere.
Right?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
It's easy.
And I'm not 100% sure how to wear it.
Boy,
how to make him be
How
a
do you
hot
do
air
that?
Well,
balloon.
you make it. You get a big bouncy ball instead of a
Yeah.
balloon.
Oh, instead of a
Yeah.
balloon, a
This-
big,
Yeah.
like a big
This-
bouncy ball. Yeah.
This from a woman who buys all of her
Well, I'm
children's
not going to
Halloween
do
costumes.
it, but
and
I can picture it
But then there's strings that go down to like, and then the basket could be around
the
his
waist.
his
Yeah.
waist.
It's doable.
Is he?
Yeah.
Right.
He's not. Is he a chubby 4-year-old?
No.
Oh, okay. That's too bad because if he was chubby, you could just, hang some string on him and say to everybody, "I'm a hot air balloon."
No.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not nice. That wasn't nice at all.
So did you catch that? How to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Basket with a giant balloon or ball.
Ball, yeah.
Not a balloon.
Right?
That'd be.
Not
So
sure
he's-
how you fix the balloon
Yeah,
How does he wear
or
the
the ball.
basket?
He's gonna have to
You
have
cut
it
a hole in the basket like suspenders.
Yeah, like suspenders.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not
Thank
sure how you
That
put
helps a lot.
I'm not sure how you put the ball up above him.
I don't know. Google hot air balloon costume and see what comes up.
It's just clothing that you wear when you fly in a hot air balloon. This is my hot air balloon costume.
Let's see.
Good luck with that.
All right, Camilla. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye bye. That's going to be a tricky one. I don't know how you keep the ball on
it's-
top of his head.
It's just what I was saying. Or you can just tie an actual balloon to the basket,
Yeah.
like filled with helium, and
Have it float around
yeah,
above him.
looks like people have done that.
Here's an odd one. My oldest son wants to be Sprite, and he wants my youngest to be French fries.
Okay.
Oh, this is a good one. The DC Comics one. My girlfriend Jessica is more nerdy than me. She suggested that I go as John Constantine and she go as Zatanna.
No one will know what that is.
So again,
Again, you'll be explaining it all night, but
that's okay.
they're pretty easy to pull off, those costumes. All right, let's see. Jen. Hello, Jen. How are you?
I'm good. This year I decided to make my own costume, and I'm going to be a wacky, wavy, inflatable, flailing arms guy.
It's gonna give you a lot of exercise too.
Yeah, it's fun.
I think you should just go stand in front of a tire store.
Yes.
The
It'll
whole
really
time.
confuse people.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank
See ya.
you.
Let's see. I bought a shark costume for my dog, and it doesn't fit him. So I strapped it to my back, and I'm going as a dog costume shark.
What are you? I'm a dog wearing a shark costume. That's my.
Let's see. Oh, those inflatable dinosaurs are really popular. Let's see. Dagobah J. Sandbar is going as the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Let's go
Remember
to...
when our intern did that?
Yeah. Christopher, hi.
Hey, hello.
Hi.
What's your
All right,
costume?
Excuse me?
What's your costume?
Oh, our costume's a little more conceptual. I got a couple of them. One of them is Bruce Springsteen, which is like the flannel, sleeveless, headband, curly hair, and then a bunch of bling.
Okay.
And the other one is E equals MC Hammer. Do you like Hammer, MC Hammer costume with the Einstein wig?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, like I said, I commend you
Yes.
for your thought, but you'll be explaining it all night. That's...
Well, I tried at least.
Yeah.
Thought
I think some people like to explain their costume, huh?
Yeah, that's
Do you
true.
get what I am?
Yeah.
Now back to the we got to go, Christopher. Back to the hot air balloon costume that was brought up. Her kid wants to go as a hot air balloon. Google image hot air balloon Halloween costumes. There are several ideas.
Really?
Yes.
Well, maybe that's where her child got it. He's been on the internet.
He's 4.
I know. Well, you never know.
All right, let's go to Nick. Hello, Nick. Nick.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Go ahead, Nick.
Hey, so my 3-year-old daughter really wants to be SpongeBob, so we're gonna dress up as SpongeBob. I'm gonna be Patrick, and then we're gonna dress up my 18-year-old. Oh, sorry, not 18-year-old, 18-month-old daughter as a pineapple.
Oh, cute!
Somebody's got to be Squidward.
My wife doesn't want to be a part of it. There's no good female characters.
I want no part of this. I want to see a picture of the pineapple, baby
Yeah.
pineapple.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. My stepkid has been George Washington every year since he was 5.
Yay, I love that.
The hell?
I love that.
He thinks he'll get more candy that way.
I love that. George. That's what I do. I'm George Washington.
I never tell a lie.
My daughter is going as Batman, and I'm going as Condiment King, one of the least known and silliest Batman villains. Let's see.
That's what Muhammad's being a condiment this year.
He is sticking to that.
He's a bottle of sriracha.
He's going as sriracha.
I couldn't find a horseradish one, but they actually make a kid sriracha costume.
And that's what he's doing.
So you could buy him a good costume.
Yeah. Why do you? I don't feel bad about buying them a costume. I'm not crafty at all.
My husband and I went as Bob Ross and a happy little bush. I think you need to be a happy little tree.
Really.
Happy little tree.
Happy little tree.
My name is Morgan. My husband and I are using our Comic-Con cosplay of Marvin the Martian and Gossamer. Looney Tunes classic costumes.
I think my favorite is the one that he's been George Washington every year. Every year.
My wife says, I think my favorite couple costume that we did was I was Norman Bates dressed as his mother, and she was Tippi Hedren from The Birds.
And she actually had a bird stuck on her.
Bird stuck on her. I think we did that pretty well.
Well, it sounds like you're all going to have great fun on Halloween.
See if you're having great fun out on the roads, huh? Possible grass fire southbound I-15 near 72nd South in Midvale. Several emergency vehicles are on the scene creating slowage through that area. There's a stalled semi eastbound I-80 13th East. The right lane and shoulder is where that is off to the side. Join the Snowbird team this winter. Stop by one of the upcoming recruiting events on November 1st, 7th, and 15th, or apply online at snowbird.com.
Also, Snowbird would like you to know that they are having the Chili Bird Showdown. That's coming up this Saturday and Sunday, the 21st and 22nd.
It's chili?
Chili. Snowbird will be hosting the Chili Bird Showdown.
Like a chili
cooking
contest?
Yep.
So I can go up and try all kinds of chili?
Yeah.
Oh.
12 to 5, featuring chili tastings prepared by Snowbird's top chefs, family-friendly activities, a cornhole tournament, of course, and music and more. Details are at snowbird.com. And if you want to get away, just kind of escape this weekend, stay at Snowbird with the fall getaway package starting at just $139 per room. That includes lodging and a $50 gift card per night of stay. So visit snowbird.com for details about that as well. And then there are 2 weekends of the Customer Appreciation Days coming up. You can come up to the resort the 20th and the 22nd, or the 28th and the 29th from 11 to 5, and have an aerial tram ride with the donation of 3 cans of food for the Utah Food Bank. So that's really, or $6 donation, money donation for Wasatch Adaptive Sports, which is a really great program that gets people with physical disabilities to ski and snowboard. For more information on all of that, go to snowbird.com.
Do you have the boner candidates for round 1?
I do. Thanks for reminding me. Number 1 is, well, then you should be put in jail all over again. Number 2, put on your Halloween costume and go hide in the attic. And number 3, no, really, it's funny.
All right, there you go. All 3 of them coming up in round 1 boner voting along with Big Boy News. Hi there, it's Kerry Jackson. Geek Show is me and all my best friends sitting in my basement studio, drinking, laughing, and talking about the stuff we love. Sci-fi, movies, TV shows, comic books, toys, games, and more. Get a new Not Safe for Work episode every Monday morning.
GeekShowPodcast.com.
I was thinking today how much this moment of one of our interns, the organized intern, Sarah, and I was thinking, I wonder how much it would cost me to hire her
For what?
as my personal assistant.
Here we go.
What?
You need a personal assistant.
Sure, I'd love one. I would love one. I think a personal assistant would do a lot of good things for me.
Like what? Do
Well,
you have dry cleaning that needs picking up?
yes.
You have a hard time getting around to picking up your dry cleaning?
Sometimes, as a matter of fact, I do. I have any number of organizing things that need to be done all the time. I need. It would be very nice to have somebody to post a bunch of social media stuff for me. At my direction, but actually do the work of it. It would be very nice to have somebody I could call up and say, I don't have time to go to the grocery store. I'm forwarding you my list. Please send it. Please do it. See, she's not. You know what I mean. There's any number of things.
You want to go to the store for Bill?
And she would love to. She would love to do it. She's nodding right now. But A, I don't know as I could really afford her, and B, I like her, and so I'm not sure that I want her to be on the receiving end of me saying, "What do you mean you didn't?"
Yeah,
things like that.
You would end up yelling at her.
Well, just we have to break here, but speaking as someone who has an assistant,
what do you need an assistant for?
Here
we go.
I feel bad having her do things.
That's what I'm saying.
And so I'm not utilizing her enough.
You pay her?
I do.
Then don't feel bad. That unless she's the sort of person who goes, okay, I'll get right on that.
Mr. Jackson.
Yes, if it's that sort of thing, then I need a different assistant. So see, Sarah would go, that's right.
See,
right, Chief. As a matter of fact, I would insist. I'm paying you. Say right, Chief, after everything I say.
What I need is a personal assistant that I don't like.
Yeah,
that's what I need.
How do you find that?
That's the problem I think I would run into. I like Sarah
because my assistant Nicole, I like her. I like Sarah. There's no way that I could put her to work as I need. It just anyway.
I could. I just wouldn't want to yell at her. Yeah,
And you would.
Maybe.
Eventually.
Maybe.
All right, let's get this over
Chief.
with.
That's what Sarah, would you mind when you're here just saying right, Chief, when I ask you to do stuff? Just for fun?
Radio from Hell with Kerry Jackson, Bill Allred, and Gina Barberi on X96.
All right, 7:20 right now. Time for round one of your boner voting. 3 news stories that are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. You have to decide upon hearing all 3 which one of these 3 in round 1 is the worst. Which one of these deserves to go forward to boner fight to possibly become boner of the day. So if it wins here, it's got a 50-50 chance of being boner of the day. 2 candidates now, then a 3rd candidate after the big boy news. And once you've heard all 3, you'll vote. One of you lucky random boner voters will receive a Can't Buy It, Gotta Win It Radio from Hell boner t-shirt courtesy of
Excel Automotive Repair, Radio from Hell's official auto mechanics. Don't buy a lemon. Try Excel Automotive's $50 bumper-to-bumper used car check over before you buy. Limit 2 cars per $50.
Boner candidate number 1 is, then you should be put in jail all over again. Days after a Michigan mother was put in jail for ignoring a court order to vaccinate her 9-year-old son, she said that given the choice, she would do it all again. Rebecca Breedow, who lives in the Detroit area, was sentenced last week to nearly a week in jail for contempt of court almost a year after an Oakland County judge ordered her to have her son immunized. I was trying to protect my kids, the 40-year-old mother told ABC News on Friday. I was trying to stand up for what I believed in, and it was worth it for me to try and take the risk because I was trying to stop the vaccinations from happening.
You're
Never
an idiot.
in a million years did I think I would end up in jail standing up to try to protect my kids and standing up for my beliefs, she said. In her fight against vaccinations, Breedow was jailed and lost primary custody of her son, then discovered he was immunized against her wishes. Her ex-husband, James Horn, who shares custody of their son, wanted the child to be vaccinated, but Breedow had refused to do it on religious grounds. I can't give in against my own religious beliefs, she said. And if I had to do it all over and go to jail, I would do it all over again. Well, then you should be put in jail all over again. Boner candidate number 1. Here's boner candidate number 2. Put on your Halloween costume and then go hide in the attic. There are a lot of terrible Halloween costumes out there. Sexy border control agent.
Really?
Hobo.
You can do sexy anything.
Hobo.
Sexy hobo.
You could do sexy hobo. I think I went as a hobo once when I was a kid.
Hobo's an easy costume.
O.J. Simpson. Going as a race that is not yours.
Yeah.
And in that grand tradition, online retailer HalloweenCostumes.com featured this one. Anne Frank costume for girls.
Oh.
A costume that included a beret, a brown satchel bag, and a blue dress pinned with a destination tag.
Oh, here it is. If you go to x96.com/live, you can see it.
We can always learn from the struggles of history, the website's copy began with an eerily gleeful exclamation point. Now your child can play the role of a World War II hero with this girl's World War II costume. The Twitterverse noticed that the costume pointed out that a child who hid for years in an attic to avoid systematic genocide before eventually perishing along with most of her family in a death camp might not be the best choice to go door to door getting candy. Don't you try to defend this.
Although I would like to hear your defense.
She's a hero. She's a historical figure. She's someone to look up to, and
not trick-or-treating. Do it another way.
I hear both your arguments, and I am torn.
You know, like my kids at school, oftentimes they have projects where the project is to dress up like a historical figure you admire and come in and give a report.
Good. Do that. Don't go trick-or-treating as Anne Frank. Don't go trick-or-treating as Jesus. Don't go trick-or-treating as Muhammad. Don't go trick-or-treating.
I think if your child has read about Anne Frank and admires
she'd only had
her,
Halloween candy.
No, I disagree. I'm
think it's a
this
teaching moment to say to your daughter, that's great. That is wonderful.
Why do you have to dress up like something silly? What if if your hero's Spider-Man, you dress up like Spider-Man? If your hero,
so you're equating Spider-Man and Anne Frank?
No.
Bingo!
No, I'm saying your hero. It's somebody you look up to, somebody you admire.
You're equating Spider-Man and Anne Frank. Do you not see that?
You're missing my point.
No, you're missing the point.
I want to dress up like somebody I admire. I admire Anne Frank. That's my.
Well, let the voter decide.
I'm dissenting vote on
Number
this.
2, put on your Halloween costume and go hide in the attic. And then boner candidate number 3 coming up in a minute. No, really, it is funny.
All right, boner candidate number 3 coming up after this year, a big boy news and opinioendo brought to you by
Alpine Plastic Surgery, specializing in sculpting your body to achieve the goals you have above and beyond what diet and exercise provide. Visit alpineplasticsurgery.com. Schedule a free consultation today.
I almost don't want to do this story for you. You made me so mad. Elmer Espinoza.
Elmer?
And his road repair crew were working on a Houston highway around 2 a.m. Monday when they heard, help, help, coming from somewhere on the side of the road.
Oh, no.
Mr. Espinoza, and this being the New York Times, they always have to, Mr. Espinoza, 47, and the other workers paused, looking around to see where the voice might be coming from. The men began searching, brushing aside the knee-high growth on the roadside as the voice called out to them, I'm here! I'm here! After several minutes, Mr. Espinoza, I'll remind you, 47.
Yes. They mention it again,
No. Using the light from his cell phone, spotted an uncovered manhole. And when he looked inside the manhole, which was just under 3 feet in diameter, the upturned face of a man came into view, peering up at him from a dozen feet down. We see all the way down, Mr. Espinoza, 47, said in an interview Monday. He told me, what day is today? The ordeal next to the South Sam Houston Parkway in southwest Houston was reported early Monday by local TV stations, which have extensively chronicled the chaos in the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey. As the storm's floodwaters and damaging winds swept through Houston, manhole covers were flagged as one of the many potential hazards, either by spewing water into inundated roadways or posing a danger if they're jarred out of place. And it was not immediately clear how the man, whose name and age were not released, fell through the manhole and into the pit. But he'd been there for 6 days.
Oh, wow.
Help.
Jeez.
He's going to be okay. North Korea says
we're not going to be okay.
Nuclear war may break out at any moment.
Great.
Kim In-rong, North Korea's deputy ambassador to the UN, said Monday that nuclear war could break out at any time. North Korea warned a United Nations committee on Monday that a nuclear conflict may break out at any moment, continuing a bombastic war of words between the East Asian country and the United States that has only increased in recent months. Kim In-ryong, North Korea's deputy ambassador to the UN, told the General Assembly's Disarmament Committee that his country now has full-fledged nuclear weapons which possess the delivery means of various ranges, including the atomic bomb, H-bomb, and intercontinental ballistic rockets, and the entire U.S. mainland is within our firing range, he said.
Great.
The Commerce Secretary, Wilbur Ross, stashed nearly $2 billion worth of assets in trust funds for his family before he was confirmed as Commerce Secretary.
$2 billion?
Yeah, which allowed him to keep the cash off of his financial disclosure reports.
Well, it's my family's money. That's not my money.
Yeah, the hidden assets raise questions about what. No, listen, my 12-year-old daughter did very well with her report card. I've rewarded her handsomely. The hidden assets raise questions about whether the 79-year-old billionaire violated federal rules and whether his family owns billions in holdings that could create the appearance of conflicts of interest. Mr. Ross only disclosed the trusts and the timing of the transfer after Forbes magazine questioned why his financial disclosure form listed fewer assets than he had previously told the magazine he owned. 3 months before the election, Ross's assistant said his portfolio included $1.3 billion worth of municipal bonds, $1.3 billion worth of interests in general and limited partnerships, and $550 million worth of equities, $225 million worth of art, $180 million in cash, and $120 million in real estate. That adds up to $3.7 billion. Forbes asked for proof of the existence of those assets but got no reply. The magazine ultimately estimated Ross's fortune to be at about $2.9 billion because they put him on the list of the Forbes 400. Federal law requires incoming cabinet members to disclose any assets they own.
No, I don't own that.
I
That's
don't.
not right.
Listen. My adult son sells cars, and he does very well at that.
And let's hear the outcry from who?
No,
anyone?
There won't be any.
If this were President Hillary.
Utah responded to California's call for help by sending fire crews from both small towns and big cities. A combined task force from northern Utah sent 10 engines and 40 firefighters to Chino, California, where they're awaiting assignments. It's the waiting that's the toughest part on the crews who volunteered to help out. Their assignment in Chino, which is south of Los Angeles, puts them far away from the massive fires burning in Northern California, but puts them in place to plug holes in staffing left as California sent the bulk of its personnel north. You see, so somebody's got to be down in case there's a fire in Chino or that area. Says we're here to work no matter what the assignment, no matter what the task, we want to help. They'd like to be up there fighting the fires in Northern California, but they've
got their own issues.
They're covering for the guys who are. So the lawsuit against Broovies.
Oh,
remember that?
The Deadpool lawsuit.
Yeah,
yes.
Movie theater. They won, but Broovies won the lawsuit over Utah's liquor laws, and the movie Deadpool is asking for more than $500,000 in attorney's fees. In a filing obtained by Fox 13, attorneys for Broovies asked a federal judge to order Utah Attorney General's office to pay more than $533,000 for the costs of litigating the case. This is common practice. If you win the case, then you can ask that the attorneys and cover your fees. The people who lost, and in this case, it was us.
Yes,
we lost.
The taxpayers.
Yeah. Broovies sued the state and the Utah Department of Alcohol Beverage Control Commission after it was threatened with revocation of its liquor license for showing Deadpool last year. Utah liquor law forbade licensees from showing anything with full frontal nudity or sexual material. Earlier this year, a judge struck down that portion of the Utah law, said it violated Broovies' First Amendment rights. Broovies is not seeking any damages. They just want attorney's fees. And their head attorney, Ross C. Anderson, Rocky, you might get a nice payday out of this. But there were other attorneys involved, I think. But anyway, that took them a little bit of cash to do, and they want that money.
Good.
Let's see. And Woody Allen said he's sad for Harvey Weinstein.
Well, it must be hard. He's going through a hard time.
He said he's sad for Harvey Weinstein.
My favorite tweet about this: as the husband of a daughter.
Yeah.
Win Twitter.
And Winnie and Woody Allen also said, "I just hope we're just haven't entered a period where we can't wink at girls anymore."
He said that.
He said that. I thought you were going to talk about the witch hunt.
Oh, he
also
said
did that one.
He didn't want it to be. I hope there's not a witch hunt.
Well, that's because witches aren't real. But
yeah.
We can't wink at. He wants to wink at girls.
Yeah, we can't wink at pretty girls anymore. I hope we haven't entered that time. It's yeah. And former member of the Pussycat Dolls, you remember them?
Not really.
Yeah, people do. They had some hits, and she has taken to Twitter to allege that actually the Pussycat Girls were a part of a prostitution ring. My truth, I wasn't in a girl group. I was in a prostitution ring. Oh, and we happened to sing and be famous while everyone who owned us made money, she began.
Oh, I see what she's saying. She's not saying they were actually prostitutes.
Well, she is saying that people, they say, how bad was it? She says that
meaning management pimped them out? Is that what she's saying?
Yeah.
Don't you wish your girlfriend was a freak like me? Don't you?
That's them.
That's them.
I couldn't have identified that.
And this is their most famous song.
She said you had to be a part of the team. You had to be a team player, meaning sleep with whoever they said you sleep with. If you don't, they have nothing on you to leverage, meaning that they could turn you out or get you hooked on drugs. They use it against you, victimizing the victim again. And, so there she is. So, sports, weather, traffic?
Yes. Yes, so it's a big weekend. It's the As One weekend this Friday and Sunday at Rio Tinto. So on Friday, October 20th, 7:30 p.m., Real Monarchs are in their first ever USL Cup playoff match. They are so fun to watch. You should take your family and go to a Real Monarchs game. It's really affordable. You can get tickets for that as low as $5, and it's great soccer. You'll have a great time. Then Sunday, October 22nd, 2 p.m., Real Salt Lake. They're going up against the despised rival Sporting KC. Enter the promo code ROYAL, ROYAL, if you go to Real Salt Lake website to get tickets for either of those. It'll be a great weekend of soccer. You should go to both. You can afford to go to both because the Monarchs one is really affordable. That's sports. Weather is beautiful today. Partly sunny, 70. Be really, really nice today. Brought to you by the Ruin and Sugar House, a modern bar open daily from 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. featuring weekly bingo, DJs, live music located on Wilmington Avenue. Ruin work is the curse of the drinking class. Got a crash SR39. This is 2 miles east of Ogden, milepost 10. Crash US 89 Skyline Drive in South Ogden. That's up in Weaver County as well. Crash southbound I-15 Center Street, North Salt Lake, Davis County. The left lane is closed there. Stalled vehicle northbound I-15 at 90th South. The on-ramp there, the center lane is blocked. That's causing quite a bit of slowing on 90th. And looks like that's traffic.
All right, here's boner candidate number 3. You really have to see this, the video of this. Dylan, do you have the video of it? Yeah? x96.com/live. So the boner candidate is, no, really, it's funny. It's a stuffed toy unicorn, and it looks really innocent, but it's terrifying children.
Oh!
It's cute and cuddly at first, and then you squeeze it, and that's what it does. It becomes this horrific-looking creature with fangs.
With fangs.
Its eyebrows move inward to make them angry eyes, and then its mouth opens, and there's
fangs.
Gaping
Yeah.
fangs.
And they do it to this little kid in the video.
Aww.
You know, so it's like a little kid. And the little kid's looking at it and going, oh, I like that, I like that. And then they squeeze it, and it does that, and he's horrified and starts screaming and crying. It's funny, really, honest. It's funny to do this to little kids. Yeah, terrify little children. That's really funny.
That's clearly not a toy for a child.
That's
what meant for an adolescent, or
well, don't squeeze it.
Yeah, don't. It's the people who are.
Here we go. Here's the video.
It's the people who are doing it.
Look at the kid.
It's the people who are doing it to the kid that are the boners.
So Gina, you think that's funny too?
It's
not funny.
In any way.
It's mean.
I didn't say.
Didn't you laugh? Wasn't that, or was that
No,
Richie?
that was me.
Richie.
Oh, that was Richie. That's mean. God, I mean, it's just horrible.
All right.
Boner candidate number 3. No, really, it's funny to do that to kids.
All right.
Richie still thinks it's funny.
Let's review the first 2 and vote.
Let's see. We had boner candidate number 1. Well, then you should be put in jail all over again. Mother jailed for refusing to vaccinate her son says, I would do it all over again. Then put her in jail again. Boner candidate number 2, put on your Halloween costume and go hide in the attic. An Anne Frank Halloween costume has been removed from the online retailer who was selling it because there was an outcry against it. A lot of people thought it was insensitive. And boner candidate number 3, no, really, it's funny.
All right. Time for you to decide which of these 3 is the worst. Which of these 3 candidates in round 1 deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. If it wins here, it's got a 50-50 chance. It'll go up against the winner of round 2. That happens at 8:20. All right, 1, 2, or 3. You put the candidate number in the message of a text and then text that to 33986. Easy. Most people vote via text. The rest, they like that warm personal touch of a human voice. 877-602-9696. And then there are the antisocial ones who just go online at x96.com. They look for the box that says round 1 and today's date, October 17. And they vote there in that box. If you don't see that box, refresh. It should appear. You've got less than 300 seconds to get your vote in. Let's go. It's round 1. So weird.
What?
I took the garbage out last night about 5 o'clock, right? This morning, I'm backing out to come to work.
Okay.
And one of my cans is tipped over and open, and the other one is still up but open.
Mine too. I stopped in the driveway this morning. I'm pulling out of the driveway, and one of my cans was
Okay.
knocked over. The other one moved.
Gets weirder. Did you notice the rest of your neighborhood?
I did not.
I drove up my street because I thought I saw, but I couldn't quite tell. It looked like others had this happen.
Are you guys unfamiliar with wind? It was really windy last night.
It was?
Is this?
It was?
Is this
I didn't
new
know.
and unusual?
When was it really windy?
It's not been any more windy than
No,
usual.
it was really windy last night.
It wasn't windy when the cans went out.
No.
Were put
Well,
out.
that
Was it
was
windy after I went to bed?
Yes.
Oh,
I didn't
hear
get
it.
home last night until almost 10 o'clock.
Oh,
and
so
it
what-
was
okay,
windy.
So we were asleep.
Just think
I
it's
was-
funny.
So what do you think
My
it's-
cans were
Well, it was
tipped
weird.
over. What?
But what?
Wouldn't your first thought be? I wonder if the wind blew my cans.
No,
That
I
was
didn't
my
think
first.
that- I
That
didn't
was my
think that
first
at
thought
all.
until I saw everyone else's, and I'm like,
I didn't think that at all.
because again, it wasn't. I woke up at about midnight to pee, and the wind was blowing, but it didn't. It wasn't blowing any more than usual.
There were gusts.
Yeah, well, I didn't hear any of that, and I didn't think that. I just thought, I wonder why the garbage can is knocked over.
You immediately go to conspiracy, not
I
wind.
went to
No, I didn't go to conspiracy. I went to somebody backed into my can and knocked it over. That's what I thought.
I went to raccoons. That was my first thought.
I also thought of raccoon. Could have been
It was
raccoons.
really windy.
I thought raccoons, maybe.
Okay, so it was windy. Thanks, Gina. Thank. You could have
Why
just
is
told
that
us.
irritating? I'm just amused
Because you're
that you
acting
guys
like
thought,
we're asses
you guys are
because
both
we
like,
didn't know it was windy.
We're over too.
Like I said, it didn't seem any more windy than usual, and my cans have survived many a windstorm. As you know, I live on Mount Doom.
I know.
And we have our occasional wind.
You idiot!
And-
it was windy.
And this is the first time that this has happened.
I would think
My cans usually survive the
Whatever.
wind.
My cans have not ever that I recall have ever been blown over by the wind, and it didn't look that way. It didn't look that way. One of them had been moved, and one of them had been knocked over, and I thought somebody backed into them, and I had to get out of the car and put them up.
But the lid was just open on one, and it was still standing. That's why, to me,
Well,
it was
that's
odd.
And that is odd.
That the wind would just lift the lid.
Oh, you're stupid.
Mine also knocked over last night.
Did you think it was raccoons or someone running into them, or did you think it was the wind?
Well, but the wind in Bluffdale
Be careful how you answer, because you're a moron
You're
if
being
you don't
judged.
answer the way Gina thinks you should. You're a moron.
Now, here's where I think that you're all wrong. I think someone knows where each of us lives.
That's what it is.
And
That's
knew
what it is.
that we would notice getting up early, something askew, would want to blame it on the wind.
Yeah. You're probably right. Stupid. You're stupid,
That's
Gina.
the most plausible.
He's probably figured it out.
Were your garbage cans down, Gina?
I didn't put my garbage out last night. It's not garbage night.
Aha!
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 How is that aha?
How is it aha that we didn't know it was windy last
Let me
night?
tweet all-knowing suit. This sounds like a prank he did.
Did he prank us? time to award round 1 of your boner voting.
And round 1 is brought to you in part by ham fried rice.
Oh, your favorite, Bill.
I have
You can live forever on ham fried rice.
I could.
And get to Gracie's and play Geeks Who Drink trivia every Tuesday night at 6:30. You can win fun prizes and gift certificates. Stay for live music with Joshua Cook at 9 p.m. Adults only.
So we had boner candidate number 1, which was then you should be put in jail all over again. As a mother who refused to get her son vaccinated, immunized. And I don't know if the law around here is that strict about that sort of thing, but where she was, they ended up putting her in jail for a week because she kept, the court ordered her to have the son immunized and she wouldn't do it. And they put her in jail, and when she gotten out of jail, her ex-husband took the kid to get him vaccinated, and she got out of jail, and she said, well, I'd do it all over again. I was trying to protect my son and live up to my religious beliefs. God told me not to vaccinate. And then there was boner candidate number 2, put on your Halloween costume and go hide in the attic. This is an Anne Frank Halloween costume for little girls, basically. And then boner candidate number 3, no, really, it's funny. This toy, which is, when you, I mean, the way it's presented, it's like it's designed to terrify small children. That's what it's for.
I don't think it's for small children.
You don't?
No, I think it's made for adolescents and adults.
Anyway, it's a unicorn.
The people that used it on a small child, that's the boner.
That really is the boner. They just terrified that little
Look,
kid.
this will be funny. We'll scare this little kid.
Let's see. Clint won the boner T-shirt. And the winner, boner candidate number 1, well, then you should be put in jail all over again.
All right.
It all comes down to this. 2013 MLS Cup final rematch this Sunday, 2 p.m. Real Salt Lake is facing Sporting KC. Remember when I went to the MLS championship with the team a few years ago?
Mm-hmm.
That's where we went, was Kansas City. The coldest I've ever been in my life at that game. And we lost it in penalty kicks. It was a heartbreaker. So they're coming to town Sunday. And we have tickets to give away. I'm going to give you a keyword, and you can win them that way. Or you can just buy them, 844-REAL-TICKS, or go to rsl.com. Here's your keyword, sporting, S-P-O-R-T-I-N-G, sporting. Text that to 33986.
Yes?
Hi. Oh, and I think you wanted to mention that winner of
I was going to say that was the winner of round 1.
Yeah.
It now goes forward to boner fight. It will face off against the winner of round 2. That happens at 8:20. Boner fight at 9:25.
Now, I'm going to have some delicious Mill Creek coffee during this segment. I've got my Mill Creek coffee mug and my thermos full of coffee. Does anyone have the email?
Which email?
It says here, we get different emails than you
later.
do at work.
We're doing that later.
We are?
Yes.
No,
Right?
it says we're doing it here.
It's right there.
What's the email?
I'm sorry. I've got it.
Okay.
You know, we get these schedules
I've
printed
got
up
it.
for us.
I've got it.
And I had deleted it.
No, I've got it.
Okay.
So you get work email that you read at home. My husband gets it.
Yeah.
Late at night. I'm like, why are you doing work email? He's like, well, because it's morning in Pakistan and they need this information. And
See, my cell,
Some
my
sinister-
sleeper cell needs this information.
Some sinister
he
business
does.
going on
He
there.
does business in Pakistan. and so he's getting that. And we get email like this from our good friend DJ E-Rock over at U92. Dear Broadway Media employees, I apologize for the artist we had in who chose to start smoking without our knowledge in studio. We'll take every effort moving forward to ensure this doesn't happen again. For those we offended, I truly apologize on behalf of the team. And you think for a second, well, maybe...
Yeah. But there was a response. Who did the response? I can't remember. It said...
a couple
Somebody
people.
hit a reply all on that?
Yeah, a couple of people
Oh, I
did.
deleted it immediately. I didn't see.
John Smith said...
yeah, that's...
Lucky there was pizza nearby because we all got the munchies. So I'm like,
Oh.
now I know what... And then somebody else said, of course, Somebody had to tell me what that smell was. I thought a fan belt had gone out on the AC unit.
And then somebody else started typing out, well, it was okay. And then just all the letters went crazy. And so figure it out.
Yeah, there was a rap artist here, and I looked up his name, and his name is...
No, you don't need to. I don't know if you should mention it.
What, he was here? Okay. I won't mention it. But I'm
not even sure we should be talking about this.
Anyway, apparently he fired up a blunt in the studio.
I think it's funny, though, that there's... But if you walk over there, it's just reeks of Febreze.
Really? That doesn't work.
And so you're suggesting that...
Most people don't get emails
No,
like
I think actually it happens more often than you think.
That studio, I just was over there talking to him. It's not Febreze. It is just weed. That's it.
They're having a good time over there this morning. It still smells.
But I feel bad for There is not a nicer person that works here than E-Rock.
Right? E-Rock's the best.
And he must have just been horrified.
He was. You can't do that in here.
I can
tell. Where do you think you are?
I mean, from what I know of E-Rock, he is horrified.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
Well, because the other part of it is you get people who are in this building who will go, I am offended at the presence of marijuana, right? Which seems...
It
seems
illegal.
sort of bizarre
It's illegal.
to be that up in arms about it, but the gravitas or the balls of inside, which is illegal to smoke anything, and just be in the studio to go.
Well, that's why when I saw it, I thought, oh, well, maybe someone was just smoking a cigarette.
But even that.
That's what I mean. Even that, you can't.
Well, yeah, I just don't
show me a building where that's okay.
I don't know how he was able to get it so much that it still smells.
Right. Well,
which means
it's really good stuff.
Which means that someone probably let him finish.
No,
I don't know.
No, I can't imagine.
No, I'm sure that.
But is there any place where smoking inside is any way is okay?
No,
like not just here, but
at all
anywhere.
No, I'm sure there are probably still some hotel rooms. I would think.
I don't know.
Do you get smoking? Casinos in Vegas? I don't know.
Yeah. But other than that, I don't think you can.
I'm
saying this guy that came in here was a jerk.
Yeah.
But you can't do that anywhere.
Or he was just so addled he doesn't realize.
Know?
Yeah.
The thing that I'm sort of surprised about is, all of our rooms have lots of expensive equipment and sprinklers from the ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
See, we got one right there.
Yeah, I'm surprised that it didn't go off and then...
we got two in here.
Ruin that equipment.
Yeah. Well...
Or maybe those are just for show.
No, really, yeah. There's sprinklers here.
Sure.
No, but I'm telling you, Jeannie, there are emails like that probably in more offices than you realize.
I'm sorry that somebody...
We apologize for Pam from accounting.
Yeah. She was in the bathroom again, so... But that's, I'm sorry I wasn't here. It might have been exciting.
Well, you can go relive it across the hallway in the
it's
studio.
It's still happening over there.
I'm going to.
I went to a bar in Pennsylvania a couple of months ago. They still allow you to smoke inside. Some bars in Idaho, apparently.
But most places, I think, smoking inside, smoking anything is not okay.
I vape inside. Nobody is offended by strawberry banana.
Do they still have those really awkward rooms at the airport?
Yes.
That you can smoke in?
Yeah.
The sadness closet.
The sad see-through glass closet.
Tiny.
You can go see all the future cancer patients.
Apparently, people still routinely try to sneak smokes on planes in the lavatory. Still happening.
Yeah. That's, it's hard I remember what it felt like. It's hard. You have to fly for 5 or 6 hours or something and no nicotine. Oh, my God.
Everybody's saying the sprinklers, they're not smoke detectors. They're heat detectors.
Oh, it's heat. That's right. They melt, and that's what sets them off.
Yeah. Which makes more sense.
Yeah, not like the cheap smoke detectors that we, So it's weird, though, to have them. I guess... Either the equipment burns up with a fire or it's ruined by water.
Yeah.
It's...
Orrin says, I've traveled all over the U.S., plenty of bars and seedy motels to smoke in. And then there's a sadness closet at the Warp Tour.
There is?
Oh, no, that's who's playing the Warp
Tour.
Sadness closet.
No, you can smoke out of it.
I don't know. Can you legally smoke out at the fairgrounds?
I don't know.
Somebody says the airport removed the smoking room.
They were talking about it. Maybe they did.
I bet in the international terminal they have to have them.
I don't know.
I bet they still have them.
They were talking about getting rid of them. But.
All right. Let's see. Traffic, please, Gina.
Oh, let's see what I'm going to refresh quickly so I can give you the most up-to-date information via the UDOT website. You don't Cedar City. You can't hear us down there, right?
Might be on the app. You know.
Crash eastbound SR 201 to northbound I-15 in Salt Lake. Got a crash US 89 Skyline Drive in Ogden. Southbound I-15 Center Street, North Salt Lake. The left lane is closed there. Northbound I-15 90th South. The on-ramp there, center lane, is blocked. That's causing a big slowdown in that area. That's traffic.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, we will take a break. Allegedly, Sister Dottie S. Dixon. Oh, she is here? Okay. Dottie has driven all the way up from Spanish Fork to talk to us today.
While she's here, I'm going to suggest that she, after she leaves our studio, that she stops by Diamonds Direct.
Tennis bracelet or something.
It's on her way home because you just go by Fashion Place Mall, and it's just south of there.
Now, we love a deal in Utah, and I know Dottie loves a deal. So what is the secret for Diamonds Direct prices being so low? They beat everybody when it comes to diamond jewelry. Well, first, they have world-class connections, the diamond mines, the diamond cutters. They're very close to that. Then Diamonds Direct has tremendous buying power because they have a lot of stores and they make deals with the diamond cutters. They get huge parcels of diamonds at one time, pay cash on the spot for the rock bottom price, and the bottom line is it's easy for them to beat anybody's price on earrings, diamond bracelets, diamond engagement rings, all of that.
Buy an early Christmas present.
Yeah, do it now.
Because it's a good sale going on, and then you can just tuck it away and save it for a couple months.
And from through the month of October, they're donating $100 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation for every engagement ring sold and every purchase from a special Make-A-Wish collection that they've put together. So Diamonds Direct, they're at 6400 South, right across from the Fashion Place Mall.
All right, so it all comes down to this for Real Salt Lake. They're facing their heated rivals.
It's from the Girl Scouts. Okay. And then there's a nice letter say, "Hey, Bill, we get you. You're a guy's guy. You have unassuming strength, a casual confidence, and an uncompromising integrity, and are so dumb you don't know this is a form letter."
Wow, they really know who I am.
You know the spread of Sunday's game and have a steak ready to grill and a cold drink waiting in the fridge. You're man enough to be a Girl Scout. So I've been given a membership in the Girl Scouts.
So what do you...
And then I got this.
Do you have to sell your own Girl Scout cookies?
No, I think what that means is they'll hit me up periodically for money.
Yeah. That's a great gift, then.
I didn't want to say that what they're doing is opening a door to something that you will regret later. But
now I get this card. Now, little Bill, sick. He's sick. He was very ill. Barfing and all that. So that explains the card. And with this card came 3 pairs of really nice underpants. Patagonia, silk weight, boxer briefs.
Underpants.
Which I really like. And they're very, it's expensive underwear. I mean, it's like, I think they're $30 a piece or something like that.
You should get a whole pair of pants for that.
So here's the card that came with it. At least I'm too sick to cause trouble. Trouble.
Trouble.
And then you open it up and says, "Or am I?" ?
This is your Father's Day card?
Fortunately, you can cover your ass with these. Happy Father's Day. That's it.
Too sick. At least I'm too sick to cause trouble.
Trouble. Yeah, trouble.
And then
you open it up.
That's a threat.
Or am I?
That's a threat, is what that is.
That's exactly what it is. So it was my Father's Day threat. Yes. Anyway. That's nice to be a Girl Scout, though.
Snowbird was awesome yesterday for Father's Day. There were a ton of people. Saw lots of friends of the program up there. They had garlic fries. It was perfect. They had bacon on sticks. Big, thick bacon on sticks.
So Gina was happy, and that made it a good Father's Day because she got what she wanted.
Well, no, everybody got. Joe got a massage up at the cliff. Daddy Gary got a massage up at the cliff.
Mm-hmm. But first and foremost, they had garlic fries.
They had garlic fries and bacon on sticks.
Yeah. I went out to the Christiansen Family Farm, Hog Heaven in Vernon on Saturday and bought a bunch of meat. That was pork and beef. And that's actually for my wife's birthday, who's her birthday today. She wanted meat for her birthday.
The gift of meat.
Everybody's got something.
Yeah. You?
No.
Nothing? Nothing? All right.
What? I'm not a father.
Well, you didn't see your dad.
I did.
Oh, you did see
you
your
did.
Yeah.
See your dad. How's he doing?
He's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's his
Did you
mustache?
give him meat?
No, he gives me meat.
Oh, okay.
He's the farmer.
Harry gives him money.
Yeah, I give him cash.
We've discussed that. Here, Dad. He does it under the table so nobody can see it. Yeah, there you go. Hold out your hand.
Buy some more life-giving medicine. There you go.
It's Sister Dottie S. Dixon with saintly advice on pumpkins.
Halloween advice.
Yeah, Halloween advice.
Halloween advice.
Sister, you love it? You love
Oh,
Halloween?
I love Halloween. It's my favorite.
What is it about Halloween? Utahns love Halloween.
Well, It's what? Why do you like that Comic-Con so much?
It's a chance
I
to
think
be.
it's down the same vein.
It's a chance to be a little naughty, maybe.
Could be.
A little
Naughty.
Yeah, a little naughty.
A
Yeah.
safe place to be naughty.
It's outside and it's in the dark, and you get to do some fun things. Did you hear about that little boy who got left overnight in that corn maze with the pumpkins?
Yes.
Did you talk all about it?
Yes, we did, down in the crazy corn maze.
I couldn't believe that. I wanted to just drive up to that mother and say, "Get in my car."
Yeah. So now you wanted to talk about, particularly about pumpkins and/or jack-o'-lanterns today?
Well, I want to talk about pumpkin recipes. Oh. And I brung Thor.
Okay.
And I'm not going to read all Thor, Carrie, so don't you worry.
sorry.
I could just see his eyebrow go up. Did you see it?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, another one of these. But I'm going to let you and the readers and listeners all pick one and read the recipe.
Okay.
But first we're going to start with our most favorite pumpkin story.
Well, I remember very vividly being scared by a pumpkin.
Really?
A jack-o'-lantern.
Really?
And it was during, and I was really little. I think it was the cartoon of Ichabod and
I know
the Headless
exactly.
Horseman.
I know exactly the shot that you're talking about.
And it was very frightening when I saw it when I was a little kid. That's
how the Headless Horseman got you.
He throws his head, which was a pumpkin, a flaming pumpkin, right at the camera. I remember that shot.
And it was very, very frightening to me.
How old were you?
I don't know. I'm just
16,
young enough to be scared.
17?
Yeah, probably about 14. Okay. Young enough to be scared by a cartoon.
Well,
but it was scary.
But today it wouldn't scare you so much.
No, and I had I've told the story before. I had a trick or treat bag that my grandma made for me, and what she did is she took orange fabric, and then she put a pumpkin face on it, and then green elastic. And made my trick or treat bag, and that's the one that got stolen.
That's the one that got stolen.
Stolen. I had it was full of candy, and some big guy ran by and stole it. And
Sheena, we know what we have to do just before Halloween.
Yes, of course.
I'll take care of the flaming pumpkin.
Okay.
You make the bag.
Perfect.
Sure, she's crafty.
We'll knock at his door and just throw that pumpkin. Gina, do you have a favorite? Do Italians celebrate Halloween?
You bet.
Okay.
They ask for sausages and wine at every door.
This is just what I thought of when you brought it up initially. I took the kids out to this thing out at the State Fair Park. It's called Pumpkin Nights. If you're looking for something to do with your little kids, not like scary haunted house stuff, but little kid, it's just this huge walkthrough with carved pumpkins.
Wow, look.
And I just sent Dylan a picture, x96.com/live. I got excited when I saw this pumpkin because I glanced at it, and as I read it, I thought it said pumpkin massage.
No, it says pumpkin Assange.
I thought it said pumpkin, and I got all excited that there was going to be a pumpkin massage at this place. It says passage, but the pumpkin massage was
Who's that next to the pumpkin?
That's me.
Someone needs to have positioned your knee a little bit more art directionally.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah, so it was, it's most recent.
So you go to it, and you go to it, and you walk in, and you go, "Wow, a lot of pumpkins."
Well, no, there's more. There's more than that.
Oh,
it's a good little kid thing.
Okay.
Yeah. If you go with your honey, he'll massage you.
Yeah.
With a pumpkin.
Yeah. How about you?
Well, when I was a kid, I loved sci-fi and horror films. Yeah. And the original poster for John Carpenter's Halloween has a jack-o'-lantern on it. Mm-hmm. Now, the thing about this jack-o'-lantern, I pulled up the Google image. It's Halloween, the night he came home is what it is. And the jack-o'-lantern doesn't have a mouth. Mm-mm. It just has two eyes and a nose. And so I carved my jack-o'-lantern like that. And by the end of the night, I was sick and tired of telling people, because they would say, "Why doesn't it have a mouth?" Why doesn't your jack-o'-lantern have a mouth?
Because I'm precautious and I'm looking at this movie
Why
poster.
didn't you give him a mouth? Why not? Every person. It just drove me crazy.
Well,
So
I'm
anyway,
sorry.
Yeah.
I used to like carving. My wife is really good at carving.
Carving's fun.
I
spend a whole week carving.
You do?
All the drills. I get Don's drills.
You do those
out. I have
patterns.
this little electric saw thing. I have my little tiny saws.
That's why a lot of people paint them these days too.
Yeah.
The last one I did, it was Marilyn Monroe.
Mhm.
It was
Oh.
really nice, just her face.
So what are the recipes? What are we going to
I'm going to tell my story.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
My favorite, this is not my favorite, but it's the one I remember the very most, so I guess it's my favorite. Donnie, when he was about 16, they'd just all gotten their driver's licenses. And so him and a bunch of his friends come up, and I had just between my house and Darcy's, there's a big field, and we share it as a garden.
Mhm.
Darcy rototills it. She puts her big green boots on up to her knees.
Yeah.
She's out there early in March throwing under manure and
Right.
leaves and, oh, hell, and everything she can get. I'm surprised she doesn't throw body parts in there somewhere. But Donnie and his friends, I had just harvested all of the pumpkins, Darcy and I, a few days earlier, and pulled all the vines away. And they were all sitting, and we had decorated them around the field so people could drive by. Well, Donnie and his friends thinks they're going to be real cute. They come by, and they took off all their clothes, the little shits.
What?
Oh,
What?
Sorry.
Sister Dottie.
Sorry. The
Sister.
little poops.
Dottie, this isn't
Sister.
the podcast.
I know. I forget that. Especially when I'm talking about Dottie. Well, they were all running around my pumpkins, tossing them at each other, bare naked. What? Well, I turned on all of the floodlights. I turned on all of the back porch lights. I went out with my GE double-decker flashlight, and I'm watching this, and I screamed, and every one of them grabbed a pumpkin and put it in front of their tallywhacker.
I wish there were a photo of that.
Yeah, and Donnie was just as orange as his pumpkin.
bet.
And I said, Donnie P. Dixon, I do not want penises on my pumpkins. I'm going to cook with those. And then they all dropped them and put their hands up, ran to the cars. They all took off. Donnie ran down to the basement, locked the door from the inside on the downstairs part. I didn't see him till the next morning when I greeted him with a plate of pumpkin pancakes.
Listen, have we got time to do a quick recipe?
Yeah, which one?
Well, we've got pumpkin chocolate cookies. We've got pumpkin grilled cheese. We've got, oh, this is a favorite, buttery parpadelli pasta with pumpkin and caramelized onions.
That sounds good.
And the last one is pumpkin pancakes with spiced maple syrup. That's what I made.
Well, let's do pumpkin
Let's
pancakes.
do that, yeah.
Let's do
Okay.
that one. Okay.
Well, I'm just going to go through it fast, and these will all be on my two Facebook pages, Dottie Dixon, Sister Dottie S. Dixon. So if I don't get through them, I'll just maybe hit the highlights
Perfect.
here. Carrie's
Right.
getting high. All right. You start with 1 cup and 2 tablespoons of pure maple syrup and 1.5 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice, 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon fine salt, and 1 cup buttermilk, 1/4 cup pure pumpkin puree, 1 large egg, 1 teaspoon pure vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon finely grated orange zest, unsalted butter, melted for the skillet plus for serving. Okay, and it's just a process of putting all those together. And they make the most delightful pumpkins. They're going to be a little crispier, Bill. That buttermilk you went about makes for a crispier pancake.
I like a crispy
I love
cake.
it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And I will put that one up today. And then I'm going to put up those other 4 as well.
Oh, thank you,
For
Dottie.
Sister Dottie's Pumpkin on Radio from Hell.
Thank you.
I'm coming back next week, but then you won't see me again until until November.
Oh, really?
All right.
Okay.
Richie's got somebody coming, some punk zest or punk.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
All right. We'll figure it
I
out.
just said, all right, Richie, push the doorbell.
Thank you, sister.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you, Donnie. Let's check traffic for your drive back to Spanish Fork here, shall we?
Crash US 89, 66 South. This is up in Weber County. Crash westbound I-80 at milepost 118. It's the Redwood Road on-ramp in Salt Lake. We've also got, let's see, crash eastbound SR201, northbound I-15. And still having issues down there on 90th South. There was a stalled vehicle there earlier, northbound I-15. That was on the on-ramp. That's traffic.
Thank you very much.
You know, if you are out there and you get involved in an accident, I have some place for you to call. The Advocates.
UtahAdvocates.com is the website.
You don't have to come up with any upfront money. A lot of people fear calling an attorney saying, I can't afford it. You're only going to have to pay them when they get you a settlement.
Right there on the website, too, that Carrie mentioned, UtahAdvocates.com, there's a chat feature. So if you're embarrassed to call them at 801-355-5550, or you'd rather just do things online, you're one of people like that, that is a live chat feature on their website, and it's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, just like the phone number.
It's a good feature, but you don't need to be shy about this. I mean, chances are you might have a case. Or not. I mean, why not go and talk to an attorney for free to find out?
I'll let you know. And they don't charge you any upfront money at all at Utah Advocates, Driggs, Bills, and Days, the law firm. They just take a little bit of the money when they get you a settlement. So if you've been hurt in an accident and you don't know what to do, get a hold of the Advocates. 801-355-5550 or UtahAdvocates.com.
This is very important.
X96 is your home for
I'm a bad mom, I can tell you about real quick.
Really?
Well, we know you're a bad mom, but go ahead, tell us.
Quickly, we're at Gray Whale. You can come by and see us, Gray Whale up by the U.
Come and get a first-hand look at a really bad mother.
Yeah, I'm right here. So last night was country fair at Festus's school. Now, country fair is not like chickens and cows and
like you
pies.
would. Yeah, that's why they call it a country fair, because it has nothing to do with that.
No, it's a country fair.
Oh, it's okay. So it's not a country fair. It's a country fair.
It's a country fair.
Australia.
Yeah. Yeah.
What country did Festus have?
He had Iraq.
Oh,
of course he
good.
did. Yeah.
And so yesterday.
Is that because they knew his father's a terrorist?
No, he has a brother who's serving in Iraq.
Oh, that's okay.
He's been there forever. I wish he'd come back. But yesterday, after school, Festus said, well, everybody said they're bringing food. As you know, you have the display board with all your information, and everybody's bringing food from their various countries.
It would have been nice, honey, if you'd let me know that before, 12 hours before school.
So I look around the house, and I see that
Did you have some hummus or anything?
well, the mother-in-law had just come back from Egypt, and she brought this big container of baked goods from this Egyptian bakery, and the container had Arabic all over it, and they were Egyptian pastries. I'm like, that's close.
Wait a minute. If you were to say that to your husband, your Egyptian husband,
he's out of town, I'm guessing.
So that's close, and there's Arabic on it. So you set that on the table, and it'll look
it'll fool 'em.
authentic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to the country fair and
The country fair.
And come back, and Joe stayed with the little kids at home while I took Festus to the country fair. And Joe said, what happened to
the pastries that I was so looking forward to eating?
And I said, well, he didn't have any food for his display, and so we took those. And I thought because it had Arabic on it that it would look. And he said, the Arabic that they speak in Egypt is not the same as in Iraq. It's like that would be like if you took, pastries from
Let's take some
Spain
French pastries to a Mexico country.
Yeah. Oh my God, they didn't know. Nobody knew. It's Arabic. They don't know what.
Did they not know?
Nobody said anything.
Nobody.
Of course
said
they didn't know. Yeah.
Was he angry at you? Did he get angry?
A little bit. Like
Dr. Sam wants to talk about anger today.
It's like my mother brought these all the way back from Egypt for
me.
For me.
Did people eat them at the
They
fair?
did. They were gone.
Were they delicious?
They were really good.
You don't know. You didn't try them.
No, I did.
Okay.
Before anybody else touched them, because then they've got germs on them. So I unwrapped them and tried one.
You have problems with germs?
Yeah.
Oh, like my friend Lindsay. That would be good for you next time we're on. We'll talk about germs.
Oh, yeah,
she's... Do you wear slippers at home? Or
yes.
Will your feet touch the carpet?
No.
She won't walk barefoot. She won't walk barefoot in a hotel room.
Really?
No.
No. How? And if you're out and about and you need to go to the toilet,
I try to wait
until you get home.
Mm-hmm.
Difficult.
Unbelievable.
And she's one of these people who opens the door to the bathroom with her elbow.
Yep.
You know?
Flush with
the
your
whole
foot.
thing.
I'm no fool.
Do you use a straw when you're drinking at a restaurant?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, she's bad.
James!
We're going to have a show on obsessive
Let's do
compulsive
it.
That's
disorder,
not
I think.
obsessive compulsive. It's
Ah,
being
it's-
cautious.
It's
That's
Dr.
different.
Sam. You
Cautious?
Yeah.
You can argue with Dr. Sam?
Cautious.
I don't think you're going to argue with Dr. Sam.
Bill Allred and Gina Barberi on X96.
All right, 8:21 right now. Time for round 2 of your boner voting. 3 news stories that are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior, and you will decide with your vote who is the worst. Who of these 3 candidates deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day? All right, it has a 50-50 chance if it wins here. It'll go up against the winner of round 1 at 9:25. So 2 candidates now, then a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, then you'll vote. One of you lucky boner voters will receive a can't buy it.
No. We'll receive a gift certificate from our good friends at Gracie's.
Gracie's gift certificate.
All right, here's
you can buy those.
Yeah. Here's boner candidate number 1. Would it be helpful if you saw this one? But I'll try to create a word picture for those of you who aren't able to go to x96.com/live. Number 1 is lock him up for the face tattoo alone. An Ohio man with an unusual tattoo on his forehead.
Holy cow.
Has been charged for his involvement in a sex crime 2 years ago.
I'm shocked.
Christopher Wilson,
Jeez.
37, arrested Saturday night and charged with sexual imposition and assault. The Cincinnati man has the words, "I'm a porn star," tattooed on his forehead.
And more than that we
And
can't
then
say.
another vulgar message tattooed below, "I'm a porn star." That's been blurred in his mugshot, but you can kind of tell what it is. The word teen is in there.
Yeah.
Wilson was charged for allegedly punching a woman and then kicking her to get on the ground. Court documents state that the porn star then allegedly began groping the victim. The woman was able to identify Mr. Wilson fairly easily.
Kind of hard to hide.
In a lineup. Boner candidate number 1. Just lock him up for the face tattoo alone. Here's boner candidate number 2. They learn it at home. This has been all over social media today. And I just got another tweet about it from somebody out of state that said, apparently this is from Utah.
Thanks.
A video posted on Instagram appears to show. No, it doesn't appear to show. It does show.
It's pretty, and we're not going to show it.
No.
Because they're minors involved.
5 teen girls taking turns shouting an expletive and racial slur, and that's led the Weber County School District to investigate and has generated fierce backlash online. It's all over the place. Administrators learned about the recording late Monday, said Weber School District spokesman Lane Finley. They're planning to start investigating Tuesday when employees could speak with Weber High students. Finley said the district was seeking to determine how many students were involved. They're in a car, and I've watched it and listened to the audio. The footage was, he said, we want to know if this was recorded on school property or during the school day. I don't No. He said
because
he
that's
believed,
how they have jurisdiction over. I mean, if
he said he believed those in the video were students in his district, but had few details. Apparently, people know who they are. There's some. Well, I won't even say. I guess I shouldn't even say what. They have a certain position at school.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just students.
Okay.
They're
All right. I got you.
Yeah. And it's all girls, and they are yelling the N-word and
yeah.
And
words around the N-word.
Yeah. They chant a phrase several times, and they're all smiling and having a wonderful time saying these horrible things. Now, the video that's been circulating, it's about 10 seconds long. It was on Facebook, and then it was pulled off, and but it's still out there, and it's being recirculated on Twitter. If you want to find it, you can.
I'm sure you've probably seen it already.
And it's and
it's disturbing.
They have a certain position at the school. I will say that
they're representatives,
and at the very least, they should no longer be allowed to hold those positions.
I agree.
Boner candidate number 2. They learn it at home.
Yeah.
Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3, divorce papers have been filed.
Boner candidate number 3, after this here, big boy news and opinioendo, brought to you by.
If you're looking for some giggle juice, Prohibition has you covered with the most refined cocktails and cuisine in town. Open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. for brunch on Sundays. Information at prohibitionutah.com.
A Republican congressional candidate in Florida,
you say,
says she's learned a lot on her travels.
Has she?
Including the spaceship ride she took with aliens when she was just a little girl.
That's very educational.
Wouldn't that be? Bettina Rodriguez Aguilera, a 59-year-old entrepreneur, I don't know what that means, running to replace retiring Miami Republican Representative Elena Ross Layton, said she has remained in contact with 3 of the aliens, space aliens. She's remained in contact
That's
with them all
the part
these
I
years.
missed of the story. I just kind of skimmed it, but remained in contact.
In what way are they in contact?
1 male, 2 females, since the extraterrestrial joyride she took when she was just 7. I went in,
okay.
Rodriguez Aguilera told a local reporter, and there were some round seats that were there and some quartz rocks that controlled the ship, not like airplanes, because you can't control airplanes with rocks, She's a former councilwoman in Doral who announced her candidacy last August. She said the aliens were reminiscent of the famous Christ the Redeemer statue in Rio de Janeiro. She also claimed that she learned several fun facts during her encounters with them, including that the world's energy center is in Africa, and that a popular limestone tourist attraction in Miami-Dade County called Coral Castle is really an ancient Egyptian pyramid.
I'm following all of this.
Rodriguez declined to address the alleged encounters when contacted on Friday by the Miami Herald. She just said, well, I have a strong belief in God, and I believe there's more life in the cosmos, but I don't want to talk about the alien.
Her husband had a statement.
They took me off into a separate room. I seen him taking different people off, different ones of us off in separate rooms, and they put me on a big white table, and the guy that to take me there, the one of them that took me in there to examine me, I guess, he probed me, and then I was in there, I bet more than 3 or 4 hours in that room being probed, and at one time or another, there's different ones of them come in, 4, 5, 6 of them at different times, and all of them probed me. Not all at once, individually. Later on, years later, now even still, it's a funny thing, happened on a Sunday, and every Sunday, about the time that I was taken on board that ship, I find I have no feelings in my buttocks.
So it's
He has phantom pain.
So they didn't probe her, but they probed her husband.
Her husband, for some reason.
Yeah.
For science.
This story in the New York Times today, state waiting periods, the failing liberal New York Times.
Oh, yes.
State waiting periods for handgun purchases prevent about 750 gun deaths every year in the United States, new research has found. An estimated 910 gun deaths could also be avoided if those policies were adopted nationwide, according to the study, which was published Monday in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. Excuse me, the National Academy of Liberal Sciences.
That's right.
What we found is a law that doesn't take guns away from anybody, doesn't restrict anybody's right to own a gun, and yet it can significantly reduce gun homicides, said Deepak Malhotra, an author of the study and a professor at the Harvard Business School. He collaborated with another professor at the business school and a doctoral student, and they did this research, and I won't go into the details of how they did the research, but they feel that it is a pretty significant number of deaths that could be prevented if we adopted waiting periods nationwide. Salt Lake City has, or the state of Utah, has formed an exploratory committee about getting the Winter Olympics here again.
There's a good chance of it.
Apparently. It would be a big step, said Fraser Bullock, who will serve as one of the three co-chairmen of the new committee, along with Utah Senate President Wayne Niederhauser and Utah Sports Commission President CEO Jeff Robbins. They said that they're going to look into it and make a strong bid to get the Winter Olympics again. I guess that'd be fun for people.
I think at some point the Olympics are going to rotate among
established cities.
It just makes sense.
It does, because that's
why it will never happen.
Exactly.
I mean, because here, one of the reasons we're an attractive place for that is we've maintained our facilities.
We have infrastructure.
It's already here. It's ready to go. Trying to rebuild that every 4 years somewhere
But the bribery rate for Olympic officials would go way down if we did that.
It would be the smart thing to do.
A California woman who survived the massacre in Las Vegas faced more heartache. She returned to her Santa Rosa home to find that it had burned down in the wildfires.
Man.
Last Sunday, she said, I was running from bullets. This Sunday, I was running from fire, Michelle Flores said. She's a flight attendant. She was in Vegas for that concert when she was not injured, but she's now gone back to home. There's nothing there. So this has been a hotly debated issue in Utah schools. They've been talking about taking health, PE, and art classes in schools in Utah and making them optional.
Okay, health,
PE and art.
And art.
You know, things
for
some reason they don't think are important.
Health and art are important.
Yeah, and so's PE.
PE to an extent, yes.
Yeah.
Carrie just hates PE.
Well, he didn't hustle. That's why. Carrie didn't know how to hustle.
I didn't want it as much as the other team.
Well, they are putting a hold on that. They're reconsidering.
Yeah.
They're saying maybe we should not do that, and it would be silly for them to do it. Let's see. Howard Stern says he knew that Harvey Weinstein was lying about sex with starlets. Of course, Howard Stern has access to almost anybody he wants to interview. He interviewed Harvey Weinstein in 2014, and if you know anything about his interview style, he said, "Now, come on, Harvey, come on.
Yeah,
you know
stuff. Happens.
Come on, Harvey. What did you tell me? What you can have anybody you want, right?" And Harvey Weinstein. Well, here's what Howard said. Every girl knows that if she's a competent actress, if she could get on your good side, you could make her a star overnight. Don't tell me it doesn't work like that. And Weinstein said, I wish that were true. The movies are too expensive. The risks are too great. It doesn't happen that way anymore. Howard said, yeah, when you walk into the room, pull your pants off and say, okay, honey, let's talk business, right? Right? Weinstein says, no, not at all. Now Howard Stern is saying, I knew he was lying. I knew he was lying the whole time. Because Howard has really a great insight into the workings of the human mind, doesn't he? Now that I've done that story, I thought, why did I do that? Why did I?
Howard has enough publicity. Why are you giving him more?
And I listen to every once in a while to this, when he's doing interviews like that, and I go, what? Really? And then I listen to something else. Amazon wants to solve the problem of package theft
Yeah.
So, packages
Off
get
your
delivered.
front porch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want to be able to deliver them straight to the trunk of your car. If your neighborhood, if there's always somebody complaining about packages being stolen in your neighborhood,
it's happened to me.
Well, Amazon is in advanced talks with something called Frame, a smart license plate maker, to test out shipping packages directly to your car's trunk. The company is also developing a smart doorbell service for safer and more guaranteed delivery to your home with smart doorbell maker August. So the way it would work is the way you unlock a rental car. A smart license plate maker Frame works by creating a secure box around your license plate that holds the keys to your car.
Oh.
So users can open that with their smartphone.
I think this is hackable and not smart.
Well, it could be hackable, but they're aware of that, so they would take precautions. What they want the Amazon driver to be able to do is come to the trunk of your car, and they'll track it by license plate number. So you say, deliver my package to this license plate number.
Okay.
They come to the license plate, get the key, open the trunk, put the package in, shut it, lock it back up.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's
Wow.
so that's I think it's a pretty interesting concept. Gina's very skeptical.
I don't trust
she
it.
would like to continue to have packages stolen off of her front
trust it.
porch. Is that all right? Sports, weather, traffic.
Yes.
So exciting weekend for soccer fans. It's the As One weekend. Real Monarchs are playing on Friday, 7:30. It's the USL playoffs. Really exciting soccer, really fun, great thing to take the whole family to. You can get tickets as low as $5 for that. And then on Sunday, Real Salt Lake is playing their dreaded rivals, the Sporting Kansas City. It's a 2 p.m. game. It's the final home game. You can get tickets for that as low as $15. Now, here's how you do it. You go to rsl.com/promo and use the code word ROYAL, ROYAL. Now, there's a limited quantity of these, so if you're planning your weekend and want to do, you should do both of these, really. Easy to afford both of them for the whole family, so go take care of that. That's sports. Weather is just lovely today, sunny and 70 for a high. Brought to you by Cotopaxi, presenting the October Quest 24-hour adventure race. October 20th through the 21st, featuring challenges ranging from outdoors, food service, and more. Kickoff is October 20th from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Gallivan Center. Free Cotopaxi Luzon Day Pack with registration. You can register at cotopaxi.com/SLC. Traffic, we should do a little bit of that, too, if you don't mind. We've got a crash, 2000 West, 300 North. This is right by Syracuse High School, I guess, in Davis County. Crash 2nd South Main Street, Cedar City. If someone in Cedar City is listening, crash northbound I-15, 130th South in Salt Lake. That's milepost 291. Crash northbound I-15 at Center Street in Orem. Crash southbound I-15 at milepost 319. That's Parish Lane in Davis County. The HOV lane is closed there. Crash westbound SR 201 at 30th West in Salt Lake. And one more, crash southbound I-15, 7th South. This is milepost 307. Left lanes are closed. That's in Salt Lake. Join the Snowbird team this winter. Stop by one of the upcoming recruiting events, November 1st, 7th, and 15th, or apply online at snowbird.com.
Here's boner candidate number 3. Divorce papers have been filed. This is from South Jordan. A unified police lieutenant, Dan McConkey, is facing 2 charges after allegedly making 911 call on false pretenses. In our profession, we're held that we are going to be honest and have high integrity and trustworthiness, said Lieutenant Matt Pennington with South Jordan Police. Lieutenant Pennington's department is taking over the investigation to ensure that a fair investigation does take place. Lieutenant Pennington said a 911 call was made on September 3rd from an individual claiming that someone suspicious was lurking around their neighbor's home. We responded to the scene, and things weren't quite adding up, Lieutenant Pennington said. Police said they noticed no signs of trouble at the address, so they looked up the caller's information and learned the 911 call didn't come from a neighbor at all. They said it came from Police Lieutenant McConkey. We found out that the lieutenant who had called it he wasn't being real honest, Lieutenant Pennington said. He saw some vehicles at his son's house related to his estranged wife. and he called in as a potential burglary in progress. Lieutenant Pennington wouldn't speculate if Lieutenant McConkey was intentionally trying to get his estranged wife in trouble, but just weeks after that incident, divorce papers were filed. Lieutenant McConkey will appear in court on November 2nd to face charges of falsifying a report and obstruction of justice.
All right.
Boner, he's pleaded not guilty.
Oh,
Boner,
he has? Okay.
Boner candidate number 3, divorce papers have been filed.
All right, let's review the first two and vote.
So we had Boner candidate number 1, lock him up for the face tattoo alone. A man with a disturbingly lewd face tattoo busted for sexual assault. Boner candidate number 2, they learn it at home. Utah schools are investigating Weber District students' video. 5 girls just going off with racial slurs and chants. And Boner candidate number 3, divorce papers have been filed.
All right. Let's get to voting. This is round 2. You've got to decide which one of these 3 candidates is the worst, which one of these 3 is the most deserving to go forward to Boner Fight and possibly become Boner of the Day. The winner here will have a 50-50 chance going up against the winner of round 1. Boner Fight is at 925. All right, 1, 2, or 3, the candidate number you think should win. Put it in the message of a text. Text that to 33986. 1, 2, or 3. Or you can call 877-602-9696 and use your voice to vote. Speak! Or go to x96.com, look for the box that says Round 2, October 17, and vote there. If you don't see the box, refresh. All right, 300 seconds, let's go. Round 2.
X96 is Utah's original alternative with a 1-hour nonstop music wingding coming up right after Radio from Hell.
Gina's back. So anyway, so anyway,
Carrie walked in and he said, "You're walking like some of your."
You're walking like somebody who had their guts ripped out.
You're walking like your insides are all wrong.
You know, because she was doing this.
Yeah.
And I started to tell Carrie, and then I said, "Wait, I'll tell you on the radio." What you should never do is go on message boards about surgery.
You should never go on message boards about anything. I don't care if it's the Incredible Hulk or surgery.
Well, you
just don't.
You know what you should do?
Yeah.
But you're curious, you know, you want to hear what other people's experiences are and what their recovery is. And
what happened?
And, well, before the surgery, I went on a message board and somebody was asking the question, you know, well, what fills in the hole where they take out what they take out? And
there's a hole there.
Well, the response was.
Well, now
the response was
the uterus is what we're talking about.
Yes.
And Gina's uterus weighed 43 pounds, which is
amazing.
It was the size of a medicine ball.
It was prize winning.
I'm a size 2 now because but they remove it, and the way the person in the message board explained it is, well, it's picture just having a big bowl of spaghetti and just taking a big scoop out of the bowl of spaghetti. It just kind of fills in where the hole is.
But that just takes a second.
Like spaghetti.
Kind of goopy.
You just watch the spaghetti fill in. It just takes a second.
Like biscotti.
So this is what I'm picturing my insides are like, a big bowl of
biscotti. Well, they're very much like that. Yeah. You know, surgeons train on spaghetti. Yeah, you didn't know that?
They do meatball.
They
do.
Delicious marinara sauce.
That's why there's so many fat doctors.
And then they all have lunch. Well, we've trained on the spaghetti. Let's eat it.
Yeah.
This is what I'm picturing when they're wheeling me into surgery.
And you know what they did with your uterus?
Lunch.
Yeah.
Spaghetti.
There's lunch. Who brought the marinara?
And so also on the message board you look at, you know, what's recovery like for this.
Well, I'm sure it's different for everyone.
Exactly.
And
no, I'm sure it's speedy and efficient.
It's different for everyone, but the worst one will be
on the message
what
board.
Gina has.
Well, I mean, it can't be the worst because I'm back to work now.
There will be people. There have to be people on the message boards who say, I was cleaning my house 3
The
days
next
later.
day, yeah, there's that.
Why, I ran a marathon.
Right. And then there's it's been 3 months and I still feel like crap, and usually the truth is somewhere in between.
Can we use the term vaginal prolapse in any? I don't know. Is that do we need to use that term?
We shouldn't.
Somebody's posted it. I don't think we
That's
should.
the thing that happens to the women that have 15 babies.
Oh.
And the
That
the
doesn't
uterus climbs out on its own.
That ain't no damn good.
That's what that is.
That's where that needs to be fixed.
But it's nice to be back. I missed you guys.
Jackson, Bill Allred, Gina Barberi, Radio from Hell on X96.
8:48. Time to award round 2 of your boner vote.
And round 2 brought to you in part by Green Bean Beef.
Green bean beef.
The Chinese dish.
Beef and
doesn't beef get top billing in the dish?
In this one, no. And usually in most Chinese restaurants, not, because meat is way more expensive than vegetables.
But like beef and broccoli, it's always beef and broccoli on the right.
No, not always. And in this restaurant, it is broccoli beef.
I think beef should get top billing.
Explain cashew nuts chicken then.
All right. Thank you, Carrie. I get so tired of trying to fend off her stupidity. You know, you did it that time. Thank you.
Let's just do it.
And Anime Bonsai, Utah's premier cosplay Japanese comic culture event, returns October 20th through the 22nd at Davis Convention Center. Get the full lineup at animebonsai.org.
And you know, I don't really think Gina's stupid. think she's just obtuse. So there's boner candidate number 1. Lock him up for the face tattoo alone. Man with a disturbingly lewd face tattoo busted for sexual assault. Boner candidate number 2, they learn it at home. It's the 5 girls, apparently from Weber School District, on a little video, 10-second video, yelling racial slurs and things like that. And boner candidate number 3, which was divorce papers have been filed. Let's see. Now, this closed. Let me pull this back up here. David won the Gracie's gift card. And the winner, boner candidate number 2, they learn it at home.
All right, that one goes forward to Boner Fight. It has a 50-50 chance of becoming Boner of the Day. It has to face down the winner from round 1. That will happen at 9:25.
So you were saying something, Gina, off the air about that video.
Mm-hmm.
About the video of the girls, chanting the racial slur.
I think we need more information on it. Apparently, there's an app that automatically plays it backwards.
Your language.
Yeah, language and video backwards.
And people are saying that somebody told the girls, say this phrase.
Say this nonsense word.
And then they... Now, so... If that's
it's
the
funny.
case, the girls are still stupid, and whoever posted it is a boner, and it is still a boner.
Yeah, but it's funny that when you said that, and I thought, well, come on, is that really true? There's such a thing that does it. As I was watching the video, I thought was the way the people in it, the girls in it, moved seemed a little weird.
It's backwards.
Is that true? So Richie's come in here, our producer.
So I received this email from a friend of the program who's also a friend of mine in real life, who said, feel like I need to let you know the boner of the girls saying racist stuff is not what it seems. One of them is in my ward, and I spoke to her mother last night. Turns out that someone asked them to send a video of them saying a phrase that when played backwards sounds like what you hear, that person then used an app to play it backwards and posted it. Not making excuses or saying that this is okay or anything. Right. Awful if any of this comes up at all. Just think that it's being presented without knowing all of the info.
So that's interesting. So if these girls at Weber
were duped into doing it,
can prove that happened, are they may be dumb, but they're blameless of racism?
I think that's true.
Yeah,
I would go with that.
Would that be right?
Yeah,
but it's still a boner for whoever
did it
and posted it, because they were trying to get them to say something they didn't know they were saying.
So if that person can be located,
I'm sure. Yeah,
something needs to happen.
They could be sued for.
I don't know about they could be.
I don't know
something defamation of character.
I don't know, or they could, or maybe if it's another student, that student can.
Yeah, certainly. Along with this, somewhere there is someone who should, have some sort of punishment. But, I mean, if they didn't know, right? If I said to you, Bill, I'd trick you into some phrase.
Here, wait, let me. Here, Bill, look down your shirt and spell attic.
I know that one. I'm not doing it.
But still, I mean,
it's
kind of the same thing.
It's not exactly the same thing.
But kind of.
But someone encourages you to chant a nonsense phrase. You gotta ask why.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you should be smart enough, right? But your kids,
what does he want with
this?
You know?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Now certainly, I would say, what? Chant this phrase. What? And I'm going to film it. What? Why? Well, just do it because it'll be funny. Why? No, I'm not gonna.
They're dumb girls.
Yeah. So they're guilty of being stupid.
I don't think they're racist.
Well,
so the person who took the time to figure out how to say racist stuff backwards certainly is a racist.
Yeah.
So I would say the person who fed them the info and then leaked the video.
I'm guessing the app. You don't have to learn. You just say it, and the app.
Well, you have to figure out how to tell them what to say, though.
Well, but the app tells you how to do it.
Yeah, my guess is that the app...
You say it, the app, so if you want to trick somebody into saying something, so you say it to the app, without knowing, but I'm guessing.
Yeah, then the app
will play it back so you can go, oh, that's
how I do it.
This is what I want you to say, and you play them that.
Yeah.
So, but the girls are dumb. Don't...
Yeah.
Yeah, because
don't do that.
Because the setup of this is, hey, someone who I kind of trust has just asked me to say a phrase that doesn't make sense. Record it and then send it to them.
No.
Mm-hmm.
They're dumb.
Yeah.
All right.
You don't want to spell attic, Bill? It'll be really funny.
A. Is it double T? A double T.
No, you're doing it
A
wrong.
double T.
This is not going to be a fun video, Bill.
A double T I C.
Hey, Gina,
Right?
you want to be a part of the Pen 15 Club?
The what?
The Pen 15 Club. Do you not know this one?
Want to
Let
see
me
a one-eared
your hand.
elephant?
Let me see your hand.
No!
Just let me see your hand.
I'm going to write on my hand.
All right, here's the Pen 15
Yeah.
Club. Pen.
Yeah.
1 5.
15
one.
Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
That's dumb.
You want to see a one-eared elephant?
No, I know that
Yeah,
one.
see?
all right.
Terrible.
Okay, let's final check of traffic, please.
Oh no. Let's see. We've got a crash on Midland Drive, 36 South in Ogden. Signal problem, 600 North, 4th West in Salt Lake. We've got a crash 20th West, 300 North. This is by Syracuse High School in Davis County. Crash northbound I-15, 130th South. Crash northbound I-15 Center Street in Orem at milepost 270. Crash southbound I-15 at milepost 319 Parish Lane. The HOV lane is closed there. Brought to you by Bad Apple. They offer value pricing on new Bad Apple approved aftermarket screens. Significant discount to competitors. Now with 10 locations, go to badapplerepair.com.
right, thank
I
you.
believe we have Tuesday Tunes with Todd coming up.
I have been led to believe that, yes.
Yeah. And I'm also, I believe that some of you might need a new place to live sometimes. So
right.
you should get a hold of Lolly and the new Dwello team because they could help you with down payment assistance. Help you with down payment assistance is redundant. They could help you with down payment money by just texting the word money to 62687, and they send you a little, it's like a quiz.
There's 7 questions. If you can answer yes, honestly, to those 7 questions, that means you are the first steps to being qualified for getting that assistance money.
So text the word money to 62687 and answer honestly, no backsies on any of those questions.
Now, Lolly has got this little program together. If you'd have done it on your own, you'd spent months chasing this down. But she's got it down to 7 questions. Yeah. Very convenient.
Can help you out, and this is good if you're selling a home as well. All you have to do is text the word money to 62687, and then you can tell potential buyers, hey, here's how you can get down payment assistance and buy my home. Money to 62687.
We created a massive promotional announcement for our upcoming contest for Killers tickets. And then a bunch of stuff changed at the last minute, so now you're just stuck with me talking.
I've just been meaning to ask you, Gina, the last 3 days, and I forgot. Well, the last 2 days.
What?
So you went to collect your daughter at camp.
Yes.
On Saturday, I think it was.
Friday.
And we'd had some discussion last week about the letters, and that you had written a letter to her, a daily letter that she took with her.
Yes.
And you instructed her to open one a day. Is
yes.
That, and being the good little girl she
yes.
is, I'm sure that's exactly the way she did it.
Yes.
Whereas when I was a little kid, when I'd gotten to camp, I would just want to open them all.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to read them all. And then she was incommunicado
for a week.
For really 7 days? Was it 7 days?
Sunday to Friday.
Yeah. Okay. And so the only communication that you could have with her would be a letter that she would send you.
Right.
And you kept waiting for the letter and waiting for the letter. And I said, you're not going to get the letter until after you pick her up.
Have you received, as you went to get her and collected her tear-stained pillow and and all of the soiled bedding and everything? And
she did very well, actually, at camp.
Well, I'm sure she did, but
I'm saying there wasn't a tear-stained pillow.
I joke.
I know. As I got home with her after we picked it up, it was in the mailbox.
As I thought.
Yes.
And was the letter tear-stained?
No.
Was it very detailed?
Yes.
What did she write it the first day, or did she just write it, like the day before you?
And then express it.
She wrote it halfway through, and she said, "Next year I know to write it earlier in the week."
But there you go.
But
it might have gotten to you.
Mm-hmm. But it was a happy letter. I'm having a great time. And she said, "I knew you would ask, Mom. The food is great," is what the letter said.
It's great.
I knew you would ask.
And then she had no trouble finding an owl to deliver it.
No, came right to the.
Right.
She's very, very methodical in her thinking. She said, "I sent it on Wednesday. I should send it earlier next time, but I should at least wait a day till I've done something to write about So she's figuring out the best day to send it. It's probably Tuesday, and then I would get it. But she did great. She wants to go back. So
she did the rope swing. She swam in the lake. She went canoeing. Killed a bear.
No,
none of that.
No.
What do they do? What do they sit around and sew?
They made bread.
That's not camp. You go out. You got to go out and kill squirrels and play capture the flag at night, and then kids get lost in the woods.
At the very least, play with the fire.
Yeah, roast no fire.
Poking a stick in it?
No.
They made bread. They had morning meditation.
What?
Sissy camp. We did yoga, Mom.
She loved it. That's all that matters.
Sissy camp.
Okay.
course, Gina on X96.
See the way you said your name? Did you hear the way he said your name? Did you? And of course, Gina.
He was a little dismissive, wasn't he?
That guy. We pay him too much.
We have a giveaway quickly. X96 proud to welcome the Killers to the Vivint Smart Home Arena Tuesday, February 6th. Get details at Ticketmaster.com, or perhaps you'll win them from us right now by texting this keyword, man, as in...
He's the...
Who's the? I'm the?
I'm the?
Who's the man?
Oh, man?
Who's the man? 33986.
Will you spell it for me, Gina?
M-A-N. Man.
All right.
Hi, Todd.
Hi, Todd. How are you?
I'm good.
Thursday turns with Todd on X96. Ran from hell.
You're obviously not Todd.
Todd is stuck southbound I-15 right around Beck Street.
Yeah, there's a
of,
crash there.
of delay right there. So he sent me with a new song from AWOL Nation. You know AWOL Nation probably most famously as
Sail.
Former Big Ass Show artist.
Sure.
Maybe little known facts you didn't know about AWOL Nation. Married a Central Utah girl.
The whole band did?
No, just him. Well, because he's technically the whole band, right?
AWOL Nation, the man.
Yeah. Aaron Bruno is his name. If you follow me, that is Richie T. Stedman, on any of the social medias, I had the opportunity to talk to him. And so you can listen to that full interview there. It's available at x96.com and meet the bands. But the new song from AWOL Nation is called Passion. And that's what we're going to play for you.
Do we know if this is a new album?
Oh, it's preceding a new album.
Oh, the album is coming.
Yep.
All right. Okay, it's Tuesday Tunes with Todd. It's AWOL Nation. The song is Passion, X96.
My little daughter, who is 4, she takes amusement in her father's flatulence. You know,
Is this a daily occurrence?
Oh God, yes. You know, and I use the dumb old dad jokes of, you know, it's a farting or it's a barking spider.
Barking spider.
And she'll always go, "It's not a barking spider, Dad. That's a foding spider."
My dad
Foding
always said it was a buck snort.
Buck. Oh, we'll have to try. Or sometimes I'll say that bear's been following us around, or did somebody step on a duck?
Yeah.
Is the other one.
Hear that? Buck snort.
Yeah. She likes the duck one too. But she also is occasionally flatulent. And I was lying on her bed with her, reading her a story, as I do fairly often, before she went to bed, and she just ripped.
She ripped a good one, huh?
Just ripped one.
Daddy's little girl.
Yeah. And I
so
said,
like us. I learned it from watching you.
I said, honey, that was.
Did you high five her?
High five.
That was a loud one. And she said, it sounded like a door closing.
She means like the creak of the door.
And I said it did kind of, and she said, a door with rusty hinges. Ouch! I just thought
she's creative.
I thought that was the best.
So, our children are learning from you.
So now it's just, hey, did somebody close a door with rusty hinges?
Somebody oil those hinges.
I just thought that was the best. A door.
Get some 3-in-1 oil on those hinges.
So that was it. It's just one of those kids say the darndest
they
things.
Sure do.
There you go.
Well, let's
sail.
That's what are you doing? What is that? You don't. So some of us leaks over onto the air, but a lot of times Gina sings along with a song, and it sounds like somebody's beating a possum with a broom.
How do you know what that sounds like?
I'm not telling. I will not tell you how I know what that sounds like.
He toured extensively in the South, you know.
Yeah, that's
Beating I did. You're right.
Yes.
Beating a possum with a broom is not a pleasant sound.
So that's AWOL Nation.
Yeah.
Passion.
Yeah.
Thursday turns retard on X96. Ran from hell.
Speaking of brooms.
Yes.
Since you brought up a broom.
What?
My husband Joe has ruined Riley the Wonder Dog.
Ruined?
With regard to brooms.
What do you mean?
You're not going to get any sweeping out of the dog?
Well, no, we can't sweep when she's in the house.
What?
Because he's played a game with her where he sweeps and she chases the broom and tries to catch it, which is cute.
Dogs are dumb.
When you're not trying to actually clean up the floor.
Yeah, again, setting a bad precedent.
You guys sweep?
You don't sweep in your house?
No.
There's no sweeping in your house?
No, we have Polyroomba.
That takes care of the...
Yeah.
But yeah, so like one time he did this thing where he like let her chase the broom around and he'd sweep in a circle and she'd run in a circle and see if she'd try to catch it. Well, now every time the broom comes out, she thinks it's playtime.
It's no longer a tool. It's a toy now.
Exactly. So if we are sweeping, she has to go outside. She thinks it's a toy.
You got to think these things through.
Has he felt silly about that?
No, he thinks it's hilarious. He's like, should we sweep? And he gets the broom out. I'm like,
well, that's because he doesn't ever. That's because he doesn't ever do any real sweeping.
No, he does.
He
does the real everything at my house.
You should get the Roomba.
I have too many stairs. I'd have to have like 4 Roombas.
4 Roombas? No, you set one in one day and then set it in the next day in the next room and then the next day in the next room.
Sweep.
Before you go to bed, and have it set to go off while you're gone.
That's very good. I should have thought of that.
You bought more than one?
No, we just have the one floor. We don't use it upstairs.
But don't you have hardwood upstairs, don't you?
Yeah.
But you don't.
See? No, we make the kids roll around on the. We put reverse duct tape on them and then make them roll around on the floor. Time to pick up the lint.
All right. Coming up, we got Boner Fight at 9:25. Before that, a little bit of news. First, we got to tell you about Everest Collision Repair.
I was just there.
Yeah.
What happened?
Festus's car got broken into.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't have to be an actual accident. It can be something like that. Broke the window and
that was no accident.
Yeah, that was on purpose.
That was
but that's the kind of thing Everest Collision can take care of.
Now Everest Collision Repair wants to grow. They have 4 locations, but they want to expand into new local markets. So if you own a body shop and you want to sell it, give Sean a call. Or if you have body shop experience, Sean wants to talk to you. I would be more than happy to give you his phone number, but it's not on here. So, but the way to do it is email him.
Yeah.
Sean Hogan at EverestSean at Gmail. Oh, it's Sean Hogan. So it's EverestSean at gmail.com. That's it.
Oh, okay.
EverestSean, SEAN. EverestSean at gmail.com. Or download the Everest Collision Repair app, which we urge you to do anyway, from the Google Play Store or for Apple's App Store, and that information is on there too. I think about them wanting to expand and buy or hire body shop workers. Everest Collision Repair, 4 locations: Salt Lake, Sandy, Tooele, and Ogden. Soon more.
All right, so it all comes down to this for Real Salt Lake. They're facing their heated rival, Sporting Kansas.
It is the 23rd century. Humans have left the lowly confines of planet Earth and have sought their destiny among the stars. While many things have changed, one constant remains: the need for young men to venture forth and do the work of the Lord. This is the tale of 2 such men who at the age of 19 have answered the call of their general authorities and are embarking on a 2-year mission to spread the gospel throughout the galaxy. This is the story of Space Elders! In this episode, we find our missionaries tracting underground on Janus 6. Wow, would you look at these caverns? They're incredible.
You sure we have the right planet?
Yeah, I am. Janus 6. Why, Jas?
Oh, just because this planet is uninhabited, that's all.
Well, I'm sure that Zone Leader Hansen had a good reason to send us here.
Yeah, like all the residents of this planet were killed by some unknown force, and he's hoping that we stumble upon it.
Now, Butch, you be nice. Hey, looky here. Perfectly round, shiny rocks.
Hey, a collection of bowling balls. Well, maybe there is life on this planet after all.
I don't think those are bowling balls. Hey, you shouldn't be touching those.
Well, you're right. They ain't bowling balls. The weight's all wrong, and they don't have holes drilled in them. Hey, you hear that?
You mean the menacing sound of a big rock sneaking up on us?
Yeah. What do you think it is?
Well, from the looks of it, I'd say it's a big rock sneaking up on us.
What the flip?
Oh, you better put down the bowling ball real slow and easy, Butch. I don't think the big rock that's been sneaking up on us likes the way you're handling it, and it's staring at us, too.
Okay, here you go.
It's backing off. Excuse me, Mr. or Mrs. Big Rock. I'm Elder Christiansen, and this is Elder Jensen.
Hi. Hey, look, it's burning some words into the cavern floor. Me, Horta, these my babies. No kill I. Hey, she's friendly, and she has kids, so it means she must be married.
Mrs. Horta, we represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
You know, the Mormons. Hey, she just crossed out the no from no kill I.
Oh, so much for being a friendly rock.
Looks like this might just be a time to make an exit there, Lehigh. Let me just grab one of these little rocks as a souvenir. My cousin would love to have a real live pet rock.
I don't think she wants you to have one of our babies, Butch. Look out! Is this the end of our missionaries? Will Butch get to send a pet rock home to his cousin? Will Lehigh make him put it back? Is it legal to bowl with a silicone life form egg? To find out the answers to these questions, tune in next time to hear Butch say,
"Okay, lady, back off or the little rock gets it."
Now, Butch, that's no way to talk to a prospective convert. Now give her back her baby. On the next bone-chilling episode of Space Elders!
spider-infested, dusty old studio with substandard equipment in Ogden. Now, Carrie, Bill, and Gina have a big, fancy studio in beautiful downtown Salt Lake. And they still find things to bitch about. X96.
All right, 9:21. We've got Boner Fight coming up here in a moment, but first, a little bit of news.
Little bit of news brought to you by Black Turtle. They're hiring full and part-time customer service representatives, competitive pay, including health and welfare benefits. If you're remarkable looking for a great new opportunity, apply online at jointheturtle.com.
A couple of years ago, a guy named Alan Titus was prospecting for fossils on Utah's Kapowitz Plateau, searching for some new places to find, dinosaur bones. Or, as the Salt Lake Tribune put it, searching for new places to unearth paleontological treasures that would reveal secrets about massive and long-extinct land reptiles known as dinosaurs.
Someone's overwriting and bored.
Good
Wow.
Lord. Why bother? Protruding from sandstone, though, he saw some vertebrae, not an uncommon sight in that part of the Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument. And over the next several months of excavation, Titus and a bunch of folks working on it found an amazing find, a nearly complete tyrannosaur.
Cool.
Wow.
Now, it didn't have any skin or bone organs in it or
No?
anything like that. So it
Those didn't make it through
No, but it was
millions of
nearly
years?
complete. No eyes or anything like that. But, what they did, they found, usually they'll find a few bones here, and then some of them get washed to another place. But all in this one found nearly complete tyrannosaur skeleton. And let's see, where they take it? Are they taking it to the Natural History Museum?
Cool.
I'm not sure, but they've got it all together, and they're going to, put it together, and it'll be really amazing. Harvey Weinstein says he's going to keep making movies. With or without the Weinstein Company.
Well, good luck with that.
He says, I'm not giving up.
Okay.
He
gonna
may be in
work with
jail,
you?
though.
That's the question.
Yeah, he may be in jail. There are a bunch of movies that are nearly finished or finished by the Weinstein Company, and they're all just in limbo right now.
Yep.
They've kind of
They don't know what to do with them.
Yeah. The Orkin Company, they're the pest control people.
Yes.
Say that Chicago is America's rattiest city.
Ratty.
Not New York.
No.
Wow.
More rats in Chicago than there are in New York. New York comes in a close second, then followed by Los Angeles, San Francisco, Oakland, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Detroit, Baltimore, Seattle, Tacoma area, and Dallas, Fort Worth. I don't know where Salt Lake falls, but I think we got to work harder so we can go up on that rat scale. And Patton Oswalt, who's got a new stand-up special, which I think is tonight on Netflix.
Yes.
Said he was processing, or at least trying to process, the unexpected death of his wife, Michelle McNamara, and facing life as a widowed parent of a young daughter when the country elected Donald Trump. And Oswald said, it transformed me. I transitioned from a period of hyper-deadness to weird hyper-aliveness, because you can't relax now following the Trump victory. Sometimes I'm worried I'm like a water glass that's been sitting in a freezer, and now you're taking it out and pouring hot water into it on one extreme to the other. It's very unnerving. I hope he doesn't crack. But his stand-up special tonight should be interesting.
Absolutely my favorite living stand-up right now.
And Megyn Kelly's ratings.
Uh-oh.
Any better?
No. Slipped from 0.77, so less than a 1 rating point.
Are we higher rated?
To 0.54.
Why don't we make millions of dollars then?
0.54?
It's a possible all-time low for today. It may be even lower than her Fox cable show. NBC News President Noah Oppenheim and Andy Lack are in big trouble, one source said. That's a big drop. They have to turn this around. She also appeared for the first time on MSNBC earlier this week. It's unthinkable you don't see Matt Lauer or Savannah Guthrie on MSNBC. That's where they put, like your Brian Williamses and stuff.
They're just trying everything.
It's not a good sign. Her lackluster ratings are dragging down, this is a good sign to me. They're dragging down Kathy Lee and Hoda. So
if
that could go away, that'd be fine.
I don't know. Is it because the only place someone like her works is in that bubble that is Fox News?
No, it's because...
Or is it she's just unlikable?
It's because she's remote, and I said she's an ice queen, and Gina went, ice queen? No such thing. She is. She's very remote and distant.
But she always did well on Fox, though.
And doesn't... Well, that's fine when you're,
That's what I'm saying, is that that's where the only place that she can work is in that bubble.
I don't think they're anymore, even.
They wouldn't have her back.
And she's also considered a traitor.
Yeah.
Because she ratted out Roger Ailes. Finally. She finally jumped on that bandwagon. But I think she's just not... She doesn't come across with any warmth.
Well, and it's a different format that she's doing, too.
That's true.
It's different time slot,
You can kind of do that cold, unemotional thing.
When you're sitting at a desk
and doing news.
And it's double screen and you're interviewing somebody is different than trying to be...
With people, a live audience and live people sitting next to you.
Well, I mean, I'm glad that the karma came around and got her, but I'm just trying to figure out why, because she went from incredibly popular on Fox to nothing on a major network.
I don't think people are avoiding her because they think she's conservative. No. I don't think it's that at all.
Interesting.
And Richard Branson he's hopped on the Hyperloop bandwagon.
Oh, really? Okay.
Which is pretty interesting.
Virgin Hyperloop?
He's, I guess the Hyperloop is this, it's Hyperloop 1. It's now called Virgin Hyperloop 1. And this is...
Isn't that Elon Musk?
Yeah, he started it.
So it's
kind of still his.
It's the Mighty Marvel team up there?
I think so.
Wow.
And it's basically big pneumatic tubes, like the tubes that you send your money when you're at the drive-up window at the bank.
Can I get a pen?
These will be giant These will be giant pneumatic tubes with cars in them, conveyances, and people will be able to sit in them and go from California, or go from L.A. to San Francisco in 20 minutes.
I'm in San Francisco and I need a pen. Can you send me a pen?
It's not the way it works. They're big.
That's what I use them for.
They're big.
I don't have a pen.
90 minutes from New York to Paris.
Never has a pen.
76 will be A-OK.
Did you write this down, Gina? No. I don't have a pen.
With Radio from Hell on X96.
All right, boner fight.
This is the winner from round 1 going up against the winner from round 2. Here is round 1's winner. Then you should be in jail all over again. It was the mother who was jailed for refusing to vaccinate her son. She was in jail for a week, and she got out. Now, in the meantime, the son was vaccinated. But her ex-husband took him to be vaccinated. But the mother says, listen, if I had to do this all over again, I would. Well, then you should go to jail all over again. And boner candidate number 2, they learned it at home. Weber School District investigating students' video with racial slurs all through it. Somebody pointed out, even if it was that backwards app we were talking about, at least one of the girls in the video or more
posted
it on Facebook.
And knew what it was.
One of them might have been in on it.
So there you go.
All right, so there you go. You've got to decide. Which of these two is the worst? Which of these two deserves to be boner of the day? You have to decide candidate 1, 2, or 3. Or 1 or 2, excuse me. 1 or 2. Put 1 or 2, the candidate you think should win, in the message of a text. Text that to 33986. That's one way to vote. Most people do it that way. Or you can go to x96.com, look for the box that says Boner Fight October 17, and vote there. If you do not see that box for fresh, it'll appear. So I am told. I am told many things. You can call, use your voice, 877-602-9696. Nick will take your vote. It's Boner of the Day. Let's go.
The music starts at 10 with a 1-hour nonstop music wingding on X96.
So you saw this video a week or so ago about the guy strapped a GoPro to his dog to see what the dog did while he was at work.
I didn't see it.
It was disturbing because the dog didn't have a moment's rest. It was nervous and frightened.
In the house?
In the house, and
He's never coming back. He's never coming
it would hear noises outside and be on alert, you know? And it terrified me because I thought to myself about my dog, Ripley. I was just convinced because she can be a little high strung, and I was just convinced that.
I don't think she's big enough to strap a GoPro to. It'd be too heavy.
We did not do that. We did, however, a friend of ours gave us this drop cam.
What is it? What is that?
It's a live camera that we set up.
Like a nanny cam?
Like a nanny cam in the living room.
Are you looking at her right now?
This is broadcasting live from my living room right now.
Now, does she just stay in your living room during the day, or can she roam around
Well,
the house?
that's what we wanted to know.
Oh.
Her favorite spot seems to be, we've set up a little kind of a table next to the window, and she likes to sit there and look out the window. So we watched her for a day. She didn't leave that spot.
Well, she's fine then. Don't you feel better?
She's sleeping.
Yeah.
All the time.
Well, that's good.
She's a teenager.
Exactly.
She talking back to you?
I thought she'd at least be on guard or a little on alert.
Nah.
No. She barely moves.
A bomb can go off in the front yard.
And that's the other thing is that it has a motion sensor. So it'll alert me. Motion is detected, you know.
That never happens.
No.
She doesn't move.
She was a day. She was lying there.
Then she's perfectly comfortable. This should make you feel good.
Yes and no. She's kind of lazy. A little disappointed.
She's never going to amount to anything.
I think you ought to make her get a job.
Maybe. Require her to get
a little lazy dog.
Lazy dog. Maybe get her, a list of duties, chores.
Yeah.
You leave her list on the counter.
This has got to be done by the time I'm
get
home.
She can put a little paw print next to the one she's completed.
But yeah, that video of the dog that was freaking out, it was disturbing to watch. Made me very upset. I was
Somebody in the chat room says that most dogs are like that. That guy's dog is just a neurotic mess.
Really?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure my cat, who is a jerk when we're at home.
Jerk cat.
Mr. Fluffy Pants. I was sitting there yesterday. I was talking to my wife, and he came up and bit me on the arm for no reason. I'm just sitting there like, ow, what are you doing? And it wasn't hard, but just kind of went and bit me on the arm. I'm certain that cat just sleeps all day. And then when we get home, it goes crazy.
Well, it's because you're in its house when you get there.
Yeah. He just sleeps all day.
Do you think he's like a reincarnated dead person from somebody that hated you? And they're back to haunt you?
No.
No. You don't think so?
No. No, I
He's
don't.
biting you for no reason.
No,
Maybe it's
I
a
don't.
reason from a past life.
No, I don't.
No?
No.
I don't think that.
I think the
No, I think he's a curse from God. God sent the cat to torment.
Officially.
No, he's just a rambunctious teenager who, when he bites me, I give him a little cuff up the side of the head, and he stops. I go, don't do that.
We're in the top half of the sixth, no score, and a game plagued with injuries. 2 line drives hitting the pitcher Dave Morris, and a couple of bad hops hitting shortstop George Covey in the face. Painful game today. At least Morris was able to turn and take the line drives off his hind end. But those bad hops hitting Covey looked like they stung. With 2 balls banging off Morris's rear end and a couple of balls slapping against Covey's chin, it reminds me of my college days.
Baseball fever. Catch it. Radio from Hell with Kerry Jackson, Bill Allred, and Gina Barberi on X96.
All right, it's 9:35.
The Yankees made a comeback last night.
That's true.
Beat the Astros, so it's 2-1, right? Yeah.
Time to award Boner of the Day.
Boner of the Day brought to you in part by Orange Chicken.
Ooh.
And get a huge variety from Del Taco's Buckin' Under menu, like the new $1 queso chicken rollers made with creamy queso, or try $1 mini shakes only at Del Taco. Participation may vary.
So the Boner candidate number 1, the winner from round 1, the mother who didn't want to vaccinate her child, got put in jail, says she'd do it all over again. And Boner candidate number 2, they learned it at home. The video that was posted of the cheerleaders or whatever they were from Weber School.
Weber High.
And they were chanting racist chants. Who,
whether it was a joke or they were tricked or there's something going on there.
So, there's a lot of speculation about what happened there, but it was just awful anyway. And that's let's see. Shannon won some anime bonsai tickets, and that was the winner, Boner candidate number 2. That video that wins Boner of the Day.
Thank you. All right, that is now Boner of the Day for Tuesday. It possibly could become Boner of the Week, and by then we might know more about this story.
Yeah. It's yeah. So earlier I was thinking somebody sent me this, and I thought it was just kind of amusing. There is a game. And it's called something soup something, and
it's not a good game name.
Somebody said it's it reminds of when Gina kept arguing with me about what is salad and what is not salad.
You think everything can be a salad?
Put it in a bowl. It's salad.
Nope.
No, I don't think that. I don't think that at all. Here, as a matter of fact, the definition of salad is a cold dish of various mixtures. Okay.
I think that was part of the argument, was that there were hot salads.
Of raw or cooked vegetables, usually seasoned with oil, vinegar, or other dressing, and sometimes accompanied by meat, fish, or other ingredients. A mixture containing a specified ingredient served with a dressing, and a vegetable suitable for eating raw. So what would soup be, Gina? What do you think? What is your definition of soup?
Well, it's liquid, for one thing.
That's very, very good.
Okay.
That's the first thing. It's liquid, made by... How do you make that liquid?
How do you make the liquid?
Yeah. You don't just materialize it out of thin air.
Well, it's a broth of some kind.
Very good. Made by boiling meat, fish, or vegetables in stock.
Or adding water to the packet.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know that's what we're opening the can. Opening the can is how you probably have done it.
It's hot. Soup is hot.
And it's also a substance or mixture believed to resemble soup in appearance or consistency. Does not necessarily have to be hot.
Because there's cold potato soup and gazpacho.
Gazpacho, and there are
I
other...
don't want that soup.
There are...
If I have soup, I want it hot.
Gina, no one will force it upon you, okay?
Don't tell me.
No one will make you eat it.
If you say, would you like some soup, I might be like, well, yeah, I'd like some soup if it's cold.
But this game is kind of interesting. It's and you can get it for free if you just Google something soup something. It's a game. It's made by an Italian philosopher and game designer named Stefano Gulani. And what it is, it takes place in the future. Humans have mastered the science of teleportation, and they have gone to another society, but they're trying to explain to the aliens how to make soup. So they get these, they teleport back with these aliens, and they want the aliens to make soup for them, apparently. And it says, how do you make soup? And aliens don't understand the concept, as you don't understand the concept of salad. These aliens.
I get salad.
No, you
and
don't.
I get soup.
You don't. I don't. You don't.
At what point does soup become stew then?
Well, hang on.
Explain that to me.
Hang on.
Mr. Alien.
I think it's thickness, probably.
And how big are the chunks?
What if I just like thick soup?
I think
I think they're big chunks.
I think chunk size has nothing to do with it.
Chunk size has everything to do with whether it's stew or not.
I don't think it does.
No?
What if I like what about chunky soup? That's a thing.
Well, it is only if it eats like a meal. If you have to use a fork.
I think soup, you add things you've already cooked to the soup. I think stew is the process of, like, you put raw meat and vegetables and then you cook them together, and that is
a dish of meat and vegetables cooked slowly in liquid in a closed dish or pan. And also it's a state of great anxiety or agitation.
Stewing.
Yeah, and you can also use it as a verb in that you can stew rhubarb or peaches.
Riddle me this, Batman.
Yes.
Is chili a stew?
Yes.
I got you, didn't I?
I think it is. I think chili is a stew.
I'm going to Google, is chili a stew?
So the aliens,
and then we can get into this whole is a hot dog a sandwich argument later.
So back to the game. The aliens don't have a grip on how human digestive systems work in this game.
Oh.
So they say, make us some soup, and you put a bunch of ingredients in a bowl. So the first thing they come up with is rocks and batteries and carrots in a bowl with an ice cream scoop.
Now, see, this is where you're losing me on the premise of the aliens, because after all the years of probing, they know how the digestive system works.
Yeah.
So
Chili is neither a soup nor a stew.
Lies.
What is it?
Soups need stock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
Chili doesn't.
Right. Let me guess. Is it a ragu?
Stews usually need some kind of thickener.
Mm-hmm.
Chili doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get technical, it's a braise.
Chili?
No.
Or stew?
Chili.
Chili's a braise?
Braise. You don't braise it.
Or no, stew is a braise.
Stew is
a braise.
So what's chili?
Chili's its own thing. Chili is chili.
Chili is chili?
It's not soup or stew.
Right after these.
Things can get confusing in the culinary world.
Right after these, we're going to get to this hot dog as a sandwich thing. Because this is the
hot dog
important.
is a hot dog.
Is it?
You can have a hot dog without the bun. That's not a sandwich.
I've had a hot dog sandwich before.
Well, then it's a wiener.
Well, it could be a snap
frank.
dog. It
It's
could be
a frank.
A snap dog, a red hot.
See, this is the important stuff that we need to.
Could I have a frank, please?
All right. Ranlife.com.
If somebody you know or yourself, of course, have been thinking about refinancing, Ran Life will pay up to $400 toward the cost of getting your home appraised.
Really?
Yeah, I
that's
did
a
this,
huge help.
I did this just recently with Ran Life. So if you've thought about refinancing, values in Utah have gone up 11.2% over the last 12 months. And that's a lot of people now feel like, well, maybe we should consolidate our debts and refinance. Ran Life is offering up to $400 for your appraisal. Call them for details. And if you're renting, go to Ran Life, and Ran Life's mortgage calculator there will say, maybe you ought to be buying a home rather than renting.
It could be more affordable to buy, and a lot of people just automatically think renting is cheaper. Not necessarily.
Ran Life also has a grant program they can tell you about, up to $8,000. All you have to do is have that down payment of $1,000, and they can put more on it. So for more, go to ranlife.com. Hi, it's me, Bill Allred, and on this week's Let's Go Eat show, Jay Whitaker. He's a actor, comedian, he's a geek show panelist, and he's a moisturizer. Enjoy the conversation with Jay at theletsgoeatshow.com.
I have a 7-year-old, so
Exactly.
who's starting competition soccer.
Say goodbye to the rest of your weekends for the rest of your life.
That's what I'm saying. It all starts tomorrow. They have a tournament tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
They have a game at 11. No, they have a game at 2. They have a game at 7.
Mm-hmm.
Friday they have a game at 11, and we're going to be up at Snowbird. So somehow I have to get from Snowbird to. This is going to be. This is my life. Now.
I would suggest using your car. I think you would use your car.
Let me ask you a question. Was it his idea to play
yes.
soccer?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Because that's when you need to have the talk with him and say, look, okay, I understand you want to play soccer, but guess what? Mommy is saying goodbye to her weekends now because of this.
It's a huge commitment. It's expensive.
Here's what you do.
And it's a huge commitment.
I'm sure if you search around, you know how you have found a person to do almost everything for you. Rather than clean up the dog crap in your yard, you have found a person who will do that for you. Rather than deal with the lice problem yourself, you found the lice lady. Yeah. I'll bet you anything there is a person out there who will go to the soccer games for you.
But I like to go to
Then
the
quit bitching about it.
No, I'm just saying it begins, and Carrie's absolutely right.
Yeah.
It is.
This isn't just you playing soccer here. You need to know this, kid. This is about me taking you, transporting you, and the other two,
And it starts small when they're 7, but pretty soon it's out of state tournaments.
Yeah,
multiple times a year.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge,
which is really kind of ridiculous if you think about it.
Here's
out of state tournaments, really?
Yep.
For 7-year-olds. Yeah.
Exactly.
Here's how people catch the bird flu: by close contact with birds or bird droppings. Some people have caught bird flu by cleaning or pluck. Did you pluck any birds?
I
while
didn't
you were
pluck
on vacation?
anything.
There was no plucking going on in the
No.
trailer. I guess it is kind of close quarters, the kids can hear.
There's no plucking in the trailer.
Mom, what are you doing?
I'm plucking a chicken.
Your dad and I are plucking a chicken.
Keep plucking that chicken. Is that what they said?
Yeah,
Keep plucking that chicken.
It is also possible that some people were infected after swimming or bathing in water contaminated with the droppings of infected birds, and some. Here it is. You've handled a fighting cock.
That's
That
it.
was it.
That's it.
You handled a fighting cock.
I have to admit, I've handled a fighting.
You had handled a fighting cock. There have been a few cases where one infected person caught the bird flu virus from another person, but it never has happened. It does not happen by eating infected animals.
But I knew it was living amongst. It's not the mosquito bite, but it's living amongst them.
And it happens a lot in Egypt.
Our attorney Ed Brass sounds like your DNA dad is Marty Feldman because of your eye drooping and oozing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got another person who is saying, out-of-state tournaments? This is Gina's way of telling you that she'll be taking time off.
Oh, I see.
Not yet.
This is her way of telling us
This one
now.
is just here.
And then it'll get announced on a Thursday.
Yeah. By the way, I'll be gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because
And then she'll say, I told you that this would happen.
Because her husband can't possibly take the time off to go to the out-of-state tournament.
No.
But you can. Because this job isn't.
He has a real job.
Yeah, this isn't.
This isn't a real job.
No, not to you. It isn't. And certainly the way we treat you.
Why should it be?
No, we're going to create a rent-a-mom business. I think this is a great idea here.
From hell.
All right.
All right.
So there is a whole website from the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council.
Of course
There's a council?
Part of the website is devoted to the question.
All right.
Is a hot dog a sandwich? They say no.
I say no.
And here are a dozen reasons. 12 reasons why the terms hot dog and sandwich are not interchangeable at all.
Okay. All right.
If you were watching a great athlete
Yes.
showing off during a game, you wouldn't call him a sandwich.
He's sandwiching?
That's
You'd call him a hot dog.
spurious. That's not a great argument there.
Does ESPN broadcast sandwich eating contest from? No. Hot dog eating. Imagine being at the ballpark with the organ playing, the crowd cheering, and a vendor walking through the stand saying, "Sandwiches, get your sandwich." No, doesn't work. I'm not going to do that one because that's really stupid. Marlene Dietrich, famous actress. She didn't say that champagne and sandwiches were her favorite food. She apparently said she loved sandwiches, or she loved champagne and hot dogs. You wouldn't get arrested for putting ketchup on a sandwich in Chicago.
You're not going to get arrested for that.
Well, there are people who... And no one ever sang a song. I wish I were an Oscar Mayer sandwich.
These are all terrible arguments.
No.
There's no practical argument.
You don't go to the ballpark seeing racing sandwiches. You see racing hot dogs. Babe Ruth wasn't sent to the hospital because he ate too many sandwiches.
Yeah, he ate too many everything.
And if you won the lottery, you wouldn't say, sandwich. No, you'd say, hot dog.
See, these are all terrible
I
arguments.
think they're great arguments.
I just found a very extensive article in USA Today proving that a hot dog is definitely a sandwich from a former deli owner.
Oh, yeah?
It doesn't have a list like yours, but it goes into some great reasoning. Another case, the hot dog not being a sandwich, is that it's typically served on a hinged bun instead of two separate pieces of bread. But that's exactly the type of needling and idiotic distinction that could only come from sticklers on the internet.
Because I actually was going to say,
As a former
attached.
deli man, I can attest that creating a hinge on a roll is often the goal of a bread slicer. Depending on the sandwich that it is to occupy. If you're building...
How often do you get a hinged sandwich? Not often.
If you're building...
Often.
I do.
Moochies.
If you're building
a hinged sandwich?
All the time.
If you're building or eating a big sloppy Italian hero, you're going to want that pocket to protect from ingredients spilling out the side.
Is their meatball sandwich a hinged sandwich?
Yes,
all
hinged.
of their sandwiches like that are hinged. You're unhinged. This famous food writer says, his name is Sam Sifton. I happen to read him occasionally. A hot dog is not a sandwich. A lobster roll is a sandwich.
Well, sure.
No, it's a roll.
It's not a...
Jim Gaffigan weighed in on it.
Yes.
He said...
He knows of food.
Some say a hot dog is a sandwich. Some say it isn't. We say, sorry, because we already ate the hot dog before giving an answer.
Well, you were arguing about whether it's a
We
sandwich
just
or
ate
not.
it. Yeah. This is an age-old conundrum that apparently they've asked many celebrities about this. Oh, Joey Chestnut, the guy who wins the hot dog eating contest all the time.
Yes.
Has won it many times. You start considering a hot dog a sandwich, and you're like, oh, because there's carbs around it. And then you have to start kind of saying, well, is a gyro a sandwich? Because that's kind of like, and you say no. He's not. Joey's not too bright.
No, he's not. I maintain that it is a sandwich. But like
You're in the sandwich camp?
Like the term hoagie sandwich, but we just call them hoagies. I think that the term hot dog sandwich, I think the sandwich has fallen off over the years. And that's what's happened.
That could be. Now, I've made hot dog sandwiches. I've taken 2 hot dogs and sliced them down the middle so that they lie flat, and then put them between 2 slices of bread. That's a hot dog sandwich, right?
I think it's a
But
sandwich.
a hot dog on a bun is a hot dog.
I think we've exhausted the topic of
It's a
whether
sandwich.
a hot dog is a sandwich.
It's a vague, shifting, and impossible to define conundrum.
But we'll get an answer.
No, we won't.
Eventually, we'll get an answer.
Well,
Is that going to be your first question
after
for
we
God?
die, yeah.
Yes.
God, okay, God, here
You
it
can
is.
ask God one question.
So hot dog a sandwich?
And he'll say, "Who eats that crap? You know what it's made of, don't you?"
Can't believe you guys eat that stuff.
Lips and, you know.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Is this part of the show?
Yeah, right? Do it, Shrek!
Do a
trick.
Is this still the show?
Yeah, unfortunately it is.
Is this part of the show?
Yes.
I have no idea, but this is the best they've ever been.
No, it's not true.
No, it might be.
All right. Let's do the promo and get out of here.
On Wednesday's Radio from Hell show.
At 6:45 and 8:45, it's Things That Must Go. Please send yours to radiofromhell@x96.com. Please put "must go" in the subject line. You could win a Prohibition gift card.
Then at 7:45, former Fox News anchor Gretchen Carlson will be calling into the show.
At 9 a.m., it's Corey's community and concert calendar, plus your chance to win Killers tickets.
Well, that's all on Wednesday's Radio from Hell show here on X96.
Now I want a hot dog.
Yeah, me too.
Good Chicago dog with where they put, a pickle spear and tomatoes on
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Or a hinged sandwich.
I'd like a hinged sandwich, please.
Let me stop at
Moochie's.
Moochie's on the way home. We get a hinged sandwich.
You should
know what
try
that
their
is.
cold chicken sandwich.
I haven't tried their
cold chicken sandwich is delicious. Chicken breast. It's great. Mm.
Hi, John.
You know what I like to put on hot dogs?
I'm afraid to
Ketchup.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
You
Although
know my favorite thing is, though,
Yeah.
because I was in Chicago once and I got called a very ugly name for
Yeah.
putting ketchup on a hot dog. But when I go to like the Maverick and I get a hot dog, I just cover it with that nacho cheese. So good. That's all you need. You don't need sauerkraut or pickle spears or.
And that's not a hot dog. That's
Maybe.
a Bahama Mama.
Well, they have hot dogs too.
Oh.
Well, now I'm confused.
Isn't
Or-
a Bahama Mama a hot dog?
Yeah, I think.
It just depends on whatever happens to be on the rollers when I go in.
You mean
If they could find a way, if they could have bacon available, like if I could put
won't
bacon.
roll.
It'll fall through the rollers.
You should get one of those rollers for your house.
I would love one of those rollers for my house.
Want to see my hot dog roller?
When I was a kid, we had a hot dog cooker.
Oh, would they stand up?
Where no, it was like these pointy things, and allegedly it sent the heat through those things to cook it. It never worked.
No.
It never worked. Mom got it from the Finger Hut catalog.
Yeah.
Or it was
The
Golden
Swiffer
Stamps.
broom guy.
What was it H&M? Or,
It was green stamps. Yeah.
S&H green stamps.
Yeah. And it never worked.
S&H, and then the gold ones were Gold Strike.
Yeah.
I had the hot dog toaster for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and that has you put the bun in, and then
Yeah.
it's got a space for it, and that never worked either.
What do you got?
I have Killers tickets.
Yeah, you
at
do.
2:00. That's
And
awesome.
you probably have Disneyland stuff.
I
right?
do have Disneyland stuff.
We don't get Disneyland.
No, we
People
don't.
already listen to your show. I need
Oh,
to
I see.
bribe
That's
people to
that's
listen.
what this is. I shouldn't be insulted.
No,
Okay,
of course
all right.
not. I need the help.
Good. All right. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
Beef should always get top billing.
John Smith is next.
Please keep listening.
A 1-hour nonstop music wingding starts now. Utah's original alternative, X96.